by a fellow student while I was wearing an American-Israeli flag and having my attacker still roam freely.
This as several college presidents defend their response at a House hearing.
We are combating this hate on our campus with both immediate and comprehensive action. I have condemned anti-Semitism publicly, regularly, and in the strongest possible terms.
The University of Pennsylvania President Liz McGill, alongside the president of MIT and Harvard President Claudine Gay, who emphasized security measures, but also free speech rights, declining to specify which speech during pro-Palestinian protests might cross a line to a punishable conduct. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Gaza must be demilitarized after war and that the Israeli military will control security, raising questions about how long that could last. IDF spokesman Major Doron Spielman just telling Fox News.
The issue is we cannot leave our civilians exposed. Again, Hamas, they haven't changed their ways. They're continually saying that October 7th was just a rehearsal, and they're going to carry it out again and again and again.
He says the world must understand it's not just an Israel problem and that terrorists cannot be in control of Gaza. FBI Director Christopher Wray telling a Senate hearing,
I've never seen a time where all the threats, or so many of the threats, are all elevated all at exactly the same time.
He's making the case for reauthorizing a surveillance tool that's drawn constitutional concerns. An expected video address from Ukraine's president to U.S. lawmakers apparently not happening after all due to a last-minute issue. He was planning to appeal for more U.S. aid. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Caught trying to break in. Cloudy, 43 degrees on the circle. The radar shows some rain east of 465 over Greenfield. You've got a low of 33 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. An Indianapolis homeowner came to the defense of his neighbor early Tuesday morning
because some bad guys with guns wanted to break into a house. I'm Ryan Hedrick. It happened on the city's northeast side near 46th and Fall Creek Parkway. Peace and quiet around 2:15. All of a sudden, neighbors heard gunshots and a Ring doorbell cam caught would-be robbers firing shots at a man who was hit in the head. His neighbor drove him to a local fire station, possibly saving his life, and now Indy Metro cops are looking for 2 to 3 men who pulled the trigger. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Someone on a bicycle was hit and killed Tuesday morning in the southwest side of Indianapolis. Police say it happened around 6:30 on South Harding Street near Raymond Street. IMPD says the driver of the car that hit the bike stayed at the scene to cooperate. Police are trying to figure out what led to the crash. Nonprofit executive and U.S. Air Force combat veteran Jennifer Ruth Green has endorsed Mike Braun to be the next governor of Indiana.
I am proud to endorse him. He stands for faith, family, and community. All of those things are incredibly important, not just to Hoosiers in Northwest Indiana, but Hoosiers everywhere.
Green founded and serves as the director of Mission Aero Pipeline. She campaigned to represent Indiana's 1st congressional district last year, but lost to Democrat Frank Mervan. Temperatures will reach the 40s today and tomorrow, says Randy Bowers at the National Weather Service.
And they'll warm up a little bit by the time we get to the latter part of the week. So Thursday and Friday look quite a bit warmer. We'll have sunshine on Thursday, and temperatures should warm up into the 50s.
Bowers says rain likely won't return to the forecast until Sunday. Doing journalism the right way. That's the goal of Free Press Indiana.
Holding those in power accountable and making sure that we are empowering our readers and our audience to know that they have a voice as well when it comes to making Indianapolis the great place that it really can be.
Ebony Chappelle is the market director for the nonprofit. They run a newsroom called Mirror Indy, which focuses on news in the capital city. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
No more joint pain. It's not necessary to live another year in pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you are back to living a normal life again. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. All natural treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, who were able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Make the call right now so you can get the most out of 2024. Got pain from that old injury? Pain from arthritis? Get back to doing what you love. Make that pain go away. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Get your free consultation with QC Kinetics. 317-55 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel, all with Saturday appointments available. QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. How's it going, Matt Bear?
Harrison, not bad, except if you're coming southbound 31 from Carmel. Yeah. On-ramp closed right now from southbound to westbound 465. That is because of a crash, and we do have a delay in those exit lanes to 465 back past 106th Street. Keystone Parkway, probably the best way to get to 465. You're looking for a direct entrance. Michigan Road, of course, at 106. Stop and go if you encounter the construction, and you likely will. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University with ASU Online. You get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy tonight, a low down to 33. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, quiet, a high of 42. And Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and warmer with highs back to the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Chasing Hammer right over there. The investigation of the Biden crime family heating up. FBI Director Chris Wray testifying in front of the Senate today. What he really wants them to do is pass more legislation of unconstitutional surveillance for the American people.
Oh, he loves some of that.
Oh, boy.
Gets his jollies off on
right
that.
Now, we talked to that the Breitbart tech guy on Friday. There are 3 different pieces of legislation that the United States government wants to enact. But anyway, I digress. A lot of topics on the table. Some heat was being thrown towards the FBI director today.
And these were some big-time flamethrowers. We're talking about Josh Hawley. We're talking about Ted Cruz. We're talking about Senator Kennedy from Louisiana. So really, I think Wray was there to kind of focus on the Biden crime family stuff. But since he was there, nothing was off limits. So let's start with Ted Cruz here. Ted Cruz has got a little problem with the FBI director.
Is the FBI, do they make a routine practice of allowing partisan political optics to prevent investigating serious evidence of corruption?
My instructions to our people on this and on every other investigation are that we are to follow the facts wherever they lead, no matter who likes it, no matter what political influence
then why
there
did
may
you
be
get
out
the
there.
GPS data on where Hunter Biden and Joe Biden were?
Again, Senator, with respect, I can't discuss
but it's
an
not
ongoing
with respect.
investigation.
And Director Wray, you and I have gone round and round on this because I understand anytime you're asked about this, the answer is it's an ongoing investigation. Of course, the investigation isn't ongoing. You're not doing the work. You got whistleblowers pointing out that you're not doing the work, and you are hiding behind the skirts of the Attorney General.
Love it. Love it.
The skirts of the Attorney General. There's something sexist about that statement, I'd say.
Oh, somebody's probably going to give Ted Cruz crap. There's no doubt about that. Again, Ted Cruz questioning the FBI's director here on why Hunter Biden's inner circle was tipped off when a search warrant was coming Hunter's way.
The whistleblower testified that investigators wanted to execute a search warrant on a storage unit used by Hunter Biden, and instead they tipped off Hunter Biden's lawyer before the search warrant was carried out. Is it typical FBI practice to tip off the subject of a search warrant before the search warrant so they can remove any evidence that's incriminating?
What is typical is that when you're dealing with an individual who has a protective detail, it is typical for agents to be in contact with the subject's protective detail.
Does the protective detail guard the storage unit?
Again, I can't speak to the storage unit specifically, but I can tell you is that when it comes to...
Why would the FBI tip off the subject of a search warrant about the storage unit that was going to be searched beforehand? Does that not undermine the very essence of an investigation that DOJ is purporting to undertake?
Again, I'm not going to be able to discuss specific investigative steps that we're taking.
If you're not, nobody answers these questions, and it's why people are furious with the cover-up, because you don't believe the FBI is accountable to Congress or to the American people.
It's hilarious. So why did you tip off Hunter again? Why did the FBI tip off about the raid? Well, he's got Secret Service protection. We got to let them know ahead of time.
But does the garage have Secret Service protection? Hell, I don't know. This is the FBI director. And again, these types of moments were made for Ted Cruz, though, because he's a former attorney. I mean, constitutional law is kind of his thing. So when he gets up there and gets a chance to go full law and order, he's going to absolutely do that.
And then they hide behind the skirts of the attorneys and whatever, like Ted Cruz said, because, I mean, the other clip talked about him, why didn't you just put the GPS monitor on Hunter and Joe Biden to see where they were, see if they were next to each other when Hunter Biden was talking to the guys from China about money and LLCs and deposits. Just use the GPS. Pretty easy to tell where they were if you have the phone call records coming in.
And Chris Wray just looks at him. Why the hell would we do that? Come on,
ongoing investigation. Can't talk about it.
In addition to some of these guys bringing the heat to Chris Wray, there is one thing that Wray said today that I thought was incredibly jarring. He said that the terror threats right now in this country are at the highest level they've been in a long time. This is in regards to the October 7th attack from Hamas to Israel. And while we're sitting over here fighting about policy and Hunter Biden, just keep in mind, largely because of Joe Biden's border policy or the lack thereof, there's a lot of bad actors in this country planning something. So if you believe in, heightened terror threat levels, there used to be color-coded levels to this. That's not what you want to hear right now.
I mean, you have 8 million illegals that have come in since Joe Biden took office. I mean, it's just by sheer numbers, by odds. I mean, something's bound to happen.
And
people on the terrorist watch list have been apprehended, which makes me wonder how many people on that watch list have not been apprehended and have got through.
Exactly right. There are some bad actors here. And I think the government probably knows who some of them are. But instead, parents going to school board meetings or Catholic Americans, they've been labeled as extremists. And that's what had Josh Hawley fired up here. So Josh Hawley asking the FBI director, why wasn't anybody fired over that leaked internal FBI memo that clearly exists where Catholic Americans were called extremists?
But I can tell you that we don't investigate people for their exercise of their constitutionally protected religious expression. That particular intelligence product is something that as soon as I saw it, I was aghast. I had it withdrawn.
Really? You were aghast?
I was.
Oh, really?
Yes,
and what have you done about it? Did you fire the people who wrote it?
No, I had it withdrawn.
Have you fired anybody involved in it?
Senator, if you would give me a chance to answer
That's a yes
question.
or a no. It's not hard. Have you fired anyone involved in the writing of that outrageous memo about which, frankly, you've repeatedly misled the public? Yes or no?
The individuals involved in that product
fired anyone?
Just a minute. Were not found to have engaged in any intentional or bad faith conduct. And in fact, Senator, a number of the individuals involved in writing that product in the Richmond office were themselves Catholic. So the notion that they were targeting their own faith
so they have a get out of jail free card. I see. So you're immune and they're immune. So we shouldn't ask questions about it. You haven't done a darn thing. You haven't fired anybody.
In between the grandstanding there, the moral of the story is nobody got fired for an internal memo that called Catholics extremists. That's a problem.
Nobody got fired for how they treated pro-life activist Mark Houck. You remember he was facing charges of disorderly conduct in front of an abortion clinic. The prosecutor declined to prosecute. A private suit was even dismissed. And then the Department of Justice and the FBI and 30 armed agents kicked in this guy's door and pointed guns in their face. His family was crying after he even offered to turn himself in. Just another example of how they are treating Catholic Americans.
One of our favorites, the senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, had questions about Hunter Biden's laptop.
Why didn't the FBI just say, hey, the laptop's real? Why didn't you just tell everybody the laptop's real? We're not vouching for what's on it, but it's real. This isn't a fiction.
Well, as you might imagine, the FBI cannot, especially in a time like that, be talking about an ongoing investigation.
There it is.
Second, I would tell you that at least my understanding is that both the FBI folks involved in the conversations and the Twitter folks involved in the conversations both say that the FBI did not direct Twitter to suppress.
But others were in government.
Well, I can't speak to others in government. That's part of the point that I was trying to make, because the Fifth Circuit's opinion.
You're the FBI. You're not part of the White House and part of Homeland Security. You're not supposed to be political. You see all this controversy going on. Why didn't the FBI say, time out, folks, we're not getting in the middle of this, but the laptop's real?
Again, we have to be very careful about what we can say, especially in the middle of an election season.
And this goes back and forth for a little while. And I think we're going to wrap up this segment with Senator Kennedy saying a little bit more.
It's very easy to tell a boy from a girl. A boy has a penis, a girl has a vagina.
Okay, that didn't get said today. But anytime we're talking about Senator Kennedy, we have to get that in the mix.
By the way, just a side note here, great sound bites, awesome clips we just played today, throwing the heat at the people that need to be held accountable. But again, where does it lead? A sizzle reel for when these guys have to get reelected?
That's it. Nothing's going to happen. Ray's going to get away with this. Nobody was fired for that memo. The incompetence at the border and bad actors in this country, he's going to get away with it. But we did get some good sound bites. Matt Baer.
All right, Hammer, there is a ramp closed on the north side. It's coming down from Carmel. It's southbound 31 to westbound 465. That is shut down. Could be the duration of evening rush because it is a fatal crash that we are looking at here according to Carmel Police Department on X. So it's southbound 31 to westbound 465. That ramp is closed and could be for several hours. That according to their police department. Traffic sponsored by Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. Wendy's Peppermint Frosty is back for the holidays, so take some time to chill this year. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And by the way, that part about Ray when he was talking about the FBI had nothing to do with censorship or anything like that. It was Mark Zuckerberg that told Joe Rogan on his program that the FBI said, hey, Facebook, just to let you know, this Biden laptop story is fake. Just to let you know, I'm just saying, there's the ones that went to Facebook. Okay,
Right.
So don't give me this crap about how they had nothing to do with the suppression of that story. Please.
Mafia-style shakedown.
Yeah.
Be ashamed if something happened to your billion-dollar organization, wouldn't it? 43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And coming up next, the field house was rocking last night, man.
You were there, yeah.
Cambridge Fieldhouse was on fire. It felt like the old days. We'll talk about that with our pal Eddie White. Big Pacers win last night. That is coming up next. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
If you're one of those guys like I am, I do this all the time around the holidays. I have trouble coming up with one final gift for the missus. But then I remember pajamagram.com. Here's something for all you guys if you haven't gotten your special someone a holiday gift yet. This is awesome. Pajamagram.com, they got your back with a deluxe gift set for her. We're talking a satin nightie, a robe, plus a free satin eye mask, all wrapped in an elegant satin keepsake bag.
So really, it's 4 gifts delivered right to your door and ready to go under the tree. And in my Barry White voice, silky, sensuous, glides over the skin. Designed to make her feel amazing. And guys, you are going to love the way these PJs look on her. The Smooth Seduction Satin Gift Set. That's your ticket for a home run gift this holiday season. Don't wait. Get it before it sells out. Pajamagram.com. Get the Smooth Seduction Satin Nightie, Robe, Eye Mask, and Keepsake Bag. Smooth Seduction Satin Gift Set right now at Pajamagram. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These ideas were more than just a history lesson for a young Chuck Goodrich. They were a call to action. Growing up in Rowan, Indiana, Chuck took the principles of our nation's founding to heart, believing that in America, anything is possible. Chuck Goodrich was also raised with Midwestern values and learned about a strong work ethic and how to treat people with respect. While paying his way through Purdue, Chuck Goodrich earned an internship at Gaylor Electric. Now, 30 years later, Chuck Goodrich owns that same company and employs 2,000 people. A lot has changed for Chuck Goodrich. However, Chuck and his wife Tricia instill the same conservative values in their family as they place faith and family first. Now, Chuck Goodrich is running for Congress because he believes too many in Washington have forgotten the simple, common-sense ideas that make America special. Chuck Goodrich, conservative Republican for Congress.
I'm Chuck Goodrich, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go With Chuck Goodrich Committee.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved a 50-year-old couple over $300 per month when compared to their old individual plan. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 per month when compared to their quote on healthcare.gov. We are now entering the crazy enrollment season when our federal government will spend millions telling us that healthcare.gov is our only good option for quality health care. Whether it's called healthcare.gov, Affordable Care Act, or it's still Obamacare, don't let the federal government or their big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Give us a call at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Quoting the great Dr. Duke Tomato, Lord, please help our cults. And as always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight. Here, try these. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors. Ooh, I can already feel it. I told you. So, you ready? I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Nigel Show.
Halliburton bouncing and looking and launching and scoring! 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 And a foul! A 3-ball and a foul!
Oh, man. Mark Boyle. Hall of Famer Mark Boyle, right?
Yes, one of the best. Fieldhouse was absolutely rocking and rolling last night. Eddie White of the Pacers joins us. Eddie, I was listening to a little bit of the post-game show heading out of downtown last night, and I think you had somebody tell you it felt like a college crowd last night, and I think that was accurate.
It certainly did. Drew Powell, the actor, the Lebanon native, DePaul graduate, who's now out in Hollywood making a name for himself. He was there last night. He was filming up in Chicago, and he drove down for the game, was going back, and he said it reminded him of a big-time college game. It reminded me of those great Reggie Miller games back in the day, and I think I said this on a post-game show. We're old enough to remember. We remember when Byron Scott hit that shot against Orlando, and we swept the Magic in the first NBA playoff series won by the Pacers. And I'll never forget driving out of the parking lot at MSA, had that circular parking lot to get out, and none of the cars were moving, but we're all bopping our horns. And then we got out, and regardless of what direction you went into, east, west, north, or south, people were on their porches with brooms. And I think last night was like just in that building at 125 South Pennsylvania Street, it just showed you how sports is so important and brings the community together. It doesn't regardless who the hell you are or what you believe in or whatever. It was absolutely magical. And to think that, and this just shows you Indiana, and the old thing, 49 states, it's just basketball. This game, we didn't even know this game existed till a couple of days before. We didn't know if we'd be in it, didn't know who we were going to play, didn't know where it was going to be, when it was going to be. But on a Monday night in early December, almost 17,000 people showed up, and it was magical.
And what I love the most is that normally when like the Celtics or the Lakers or, the Warriors come to town, you get a lot of bandwagon fans, people that like players on the other team. Last night, even though it was the Boston Celtics, one of the heritage franchises of the league, that was a Pacers crowd. And they were loud. They're waving the banners. They're singing Jack and Diane at timeouts. They're standing up in the fourth quarter. And you're right. It felt like the old Market Square days.
Hammer, it was great. You were right. Usually when the Celtics come in, you see a lot of Larry Bird green jerseys. I didn't see that many last night. And, I've given some friends of mine a hard time because over the years, their little kid from Carmel would show up. One year he'd have a Heat jersey on, another year a Cavaliers jersey, another year a Lakers jersey. I'm like, you do live in Carmel, right? But I think you got to give the fans something to believe in and fall in love with the man. I think it started last year. We saw it, and Coach Carlisle said it, and Kevin Pritchard said it. There's a locker room that's very, very special. And now you're starting to see some wins. Now, we got a long way to go, but, to think that you got a guy like Halliburton, who not only has he dipped in 100% into this community and to be a part of it, and, of course, the franchise has dipped 100% into him, I think the fans have now dipped in and said, you know what, you're our guy, let's go. You're our basketball Peyton Manning. We're going to follow you wherever you want to take us.
So, Eddie, what's next for this team in terms of the in-season tournament? We're going to Vegas, right?
We're going to Vegas. They play, which is kind of crazy. They're playing Thursday in a 5 p.m. start. So hopefully Boyle can make it there. God knows what Mark's going to do the night before in Vegas. But it's 5 o'clock, and we'll play the winner of tonight's game between Milwaukee and the Knickerbockers. And then if we would win that one, then we would play Saturday for the championship.
And where are you at right now, Eddie? Because I know the Pacers do all kinds of different stuff, especially around the holiday season. Where are you at?
Well, I think of you two guys as great friends. Well, think about this. Our owner, Herb Simon, has a buddy of his, one of his good friends, a guy named Stephen Berman. And Stephen Berman is the president of a toy company, and he lives out in California, Herbie's neighbor. Well, about 14 years ago, Stephen Berman had the idea, hey, Herbie, I want to give you some toys. Can you distribute to some needy kids around the state of Indiana? Well, 14 years later, because of this one singular friendship of these two individuals, we have distributed over 500,000 toys to kids all over the state around the Christmas time. And when the tornado hit Henryville in the summer, Mr. Berman and Mr. Simon were there. We took toys down and gave them to kids who had lost their homes, had nothing to play with and stuff like that. So we're going all over the state. Thursday we're in Attica. Last week I was in Princeton. Next week I don't know where the hell I'm going next week. But today I'm in Fort Wayne. I already went by Coney Island to get some hot dogs. I love, we go down south. I go to Donut Bank. You know me. I love the food. Sure. But we're up at the YMCA in Fort Wayne. And this afternoon we're going to give away about 400 toys to kids in Fort Wayne a couple of years ago, I helped some mom carry some toys out to her car in Marion, and she was in tears, and she started talking to me, and then I started crying. She said, these are the only gifts my kids are going to get at Christmas. And it just, we say we're Indiana's team, Indiana sport. We are the Indiana Pacers. We've gone to New Albany. We've gone to Fort Wayne, South Bend, Richmond, over the years, giving out toys. We belong to this state, and this state belongs to us. And because of these two guys, Mr. Berman and Mr. Simon, 500,000 toys over the last 14 years.
That's awesome. Love, love, love to hear that. Eddie, this is a fun time, man. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's get some dubs out in Vegas, and let's win this thing.
You know me, Hammer, there's nothing I enjoy more than a nice victory cigar, and I had one lit last night.
Eddie, you're the best. Thank you.
All right, God bless you guys. Boom, baby!
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I've been with Exercise Inc. for a number of years now. It's a different, active, and live a healthier lifestyle outside the gym as well. They have locations all over town: Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. ExerciseInc.com. Change your life in 20 minutes a week with Exercise Inc.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Hello, this is Don Steffi, Executive Director for the Indianapolis Ballet. 'Tis the season for family fun and the Nutcracker, a family tradition brought to life by your Indianapolis Ballet. December 15th through the 17th at the Murat Theater, Old National Center. Don't miss this delightful classic for the whole family to enjoy. Brilliant and festive dancing, colorful sets and costumes, Tchaikovsky's beautiful music, and a whole lot more. Indianapolis Ballet's The Nutcracker. Tickets at indieballet.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Trying to figure out what happened. Cloudy, 43 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Rain to the east on your radar. We've got a low of about 33 predicted for tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Someone on a bicycle was hit and killed this morning on the southwest side of Indianapolis. John Herrick reports.
Police say it happened at around 6:30 on South Harding Street near Raymond Street. IMPD says the driver of the car that hit the person on the bicycle stayed at the scene to cooperate with the investigation, and police had to close the intersection for a few hours while they looked into it. They're trying to figure out what caused the crash. In Indianapolis, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
U.S. Air Force combat veteran Jennifer Ruth Green is endorsing current Indiana Senator Mike Braun to be the next governor of Indiana. Braun says he's thankful to have her support.
Jen, what a pleasure to have you visit here today. This is where I built my business, and looking forward to taking Indiana, where you live, the whole state, to that next level.
Other candidates running for governor include Indiana's former Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers, former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill, and Indiana's current Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch. Immigration issues are getting in the way of President Biden's pitch to send more help to Ukraine and Israel.
Republicans in the House and Senate are pressing for stronger immigration enforcement and asylum laws as part of a $106 billion supplemental spending bill for Ukraine, Israel, the Indo-Pacific, and border security.
What we cannot do is delay on funding our critical national security needs, which, by the way, includes a request from the president to fund border security and stem the flow of fentanyl into the country.
Deputy White House Press Secretary Olivia Dalton says President Biden submitted immigration reform legislation on his first day in office.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The nonprofit news group Free Press Indiana feels there's a need for better local journalism.
But in some of our rural communities, we have what are described as news deserts, where there is not a local news presence.
Ebony Chappelle with Free Press Indiana says they started up a newsroom. It's called Mirror Indy. For now, it focuses on news related to Indianapolis. They plan to expand their coverage in the future. They're also going to be sharing content with WIBC. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown, and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy, and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard for hair restoration.
With traffic at 335, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison and Carmel, the ramp from southbound 31 to westbound 465 is shut down because of a fatal crash and investigation. That'll be going on for several hours, according to Carmel PD, possibly through the duration of evening rush. So to get on 465 directly, you can use Keystone Parkway, maybe Michigan Road if you don't mind the construction, and I'm sure we do. Southbound 65 slows west to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy tonight, a low down to 33. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, quiet, a high of 42. And Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and warmer with highs back to the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
At least 8 Americans still unaccounted for. This is 60-plus days after the October 7th terrorist attacks on Israel. Hamas coming in from Gaza, slaughtering 1,200-plus people, taking hundreds of hostages, doing unspeakable things, and somehow it's all Israel's fault.
And shouldn't this be a much larger part of this story? 8 Americans, at least 8, are unaccounted for. Like, I remember growing up at a time where if there was an American hostage somewhere, damn the torpedoes. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, we are bringing our people home. There are so many layers to this story with Hamas and Israel, it almost feels like these 8 Americans are being left out and forgotten. And that's disgusting and that's unacceptable. But I don't really see a rush from Joe Biden or his administration to try to bring these people home. And when you try to ask them about it, the White House will just call a lid on a day where they really don't have anything going on. So you can't ask them any questions.
Or if you do, if you manage to get an answer out of them, it's usually, hey, look, we need a ceasefire, and by the way, Islamophobia.
Right.
It's
now,
ridiculous.
You bring up Islamophobia. There's a lot of back and forth happening in regards to the propaganda of each side here, right? But what's happening at Penn University is absolutely disgusting. And we're going to use Penn as the example because I know it's probably happening all over the country, but these college campuses have become places where it's okay to practice absolute hate onto people.
Antisemitism.
Right. Go back to the summer of love when it was 2020. If you were a white person, you were told to shut up and listen. Even down here at IUPUI's campus or IU Indianapolis, whatever it's called now, across the bridges, it's still Black Lives Matter. It's still up there across the walkways. All right, fine.
Going to have some uncomfortable conversations.
Right. But if you're a Jewish student right now on one of these college campuses, things are even more uncomfortable. So there's a student at the University of Penn. He held a press conference earlier today. He was told by classmates and even some professors, paid employees of the university, quote, you deserve to die. And the thing is, the university's administration isn't doing anything about it. These are some pretty powerful pieces of audio here. So let's listen to this student.
36 hours ago, I, along with most of campus, sought refuge in our rooms as classmates and professors chanted proudly for the genocide of Jews while igniting smoke bombs and defacing school property. And in fact, Penn's president did choose silence. The neighboring university's president swiftly denounced the incident, and yet our president cannot. Because the glorious October 7th, and you're a dirty little Jew, you deserve to die, are words said not by Hamas, but by my classmates and professors.
And this is on the heels of a very pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas rally that took place on Penn's campus. Now, the student's name is Eyal Jacoby, and it takes some you-know-whats to go up there in front of the masses and have a press conference like this, knowing what's already happening to him on his college campus.
Knowing that not only students, but I hear him say professors?
Yes. Yes,
Go after him?
100%. Here's a little more.
Our university, revered for its pursuit of knowledge, has devolved into an arena where Jewish students tiptoe through their days, uncertain and unsafe. The situation at Penn has escalated into a full-blown crisis, with students openly asserting their intentions to proceed with plans with or without university permission. During COVID, strict guidelines governed everything from class attendance and graduation walks. Yet now, when students and faculty defy policies to intimidate Jewish students, where is the same resolute enforcement?
Yeah.
For the past 3 weeks inside Houston Hall, our student center, an anti-Semitic headquarters has been erected with signs spreading Hamas propaganda. The organizers, both Penn-affiliated and not, were initially asked to leave as they are trespassing on campus property. Well, 3 weeks later, they are still sleeping there, and countless Jewish students have been harassed, yet the anti-Semitic dormitory remains. Clearly, both a disregard for school policies and permission to disregard them by a university unwilling to do anything.
How have they not been thrown out on their asses?
And some have no affiliation at all.
Oh, there's that,
with Penn. Just professional cause takers, if you will.
Agitators.
Designed to be a pain in the ass. And he's so right. When it came to COVID, boy, oh boy, if you didn't do the contact tracing, if you didn't do all the things and wear the 13 masks and have 85 vaccines, the university would come down hard on you. But here's a kid that's being called horrific names, and the university's not doing a damn thing about it.
Not only are tensions palpable, but there have also been materialized actions taken to intimidate and harm students. A bomb threat against Hillel, a swastika spray painted, the Hillel and Chabad house is vandalized, a professor posting the armed wing of Hamas's logo on Facebook, a Jewish student accosted, Jews are Nazis, etched adjacent to Penn's Jewish fraternity house. Why doesn't the university hold the perpetrators of such acts accountable? Is the university fearful that they may offend those who wish to intimidate and harass their fellow students? Penn's ambivalence fuels a crisis that has shattered my academic sanctuary. Policies meant to safeguard us have become hollow promises. And let us be clear, if they fail Jewish students today, tomorrow they will fail the rest of us.
Incredibly powerful stuff right there. Incredible.
And good for him.
I can't believe that's allowed to go on the campuses. It's nice to see that some donors of some of these big colleges and universities and like Harvard, Penn, they're pulling their cash. They're pulling their donations. They have turned their back on their own universities because they refuse to address this problem that has the potential to turn violent. I mean, hell, a mob of pro-Palestinian students at a Queens high school who were screaming for retribution at a Jew teacher that was pictured at a pro-Israel protest. She was trapped in her classroom for hours. Every one of those students that was banging on her door should have been expelled.
And listen, Penn is the example here because one student was brave enough to have a press conference, but it's happening everywhere. I promise you, there are some pockets here in Indiana that Jewish students on campus probably do not feel safe or welcome. And had this been a COVID restriction, the university, boy, oh boy, they're Billy Badasses. But when it comes to things like this, where students actually need their universities and their leaders to step up, a lot of these places, crickets.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. I knew you were getting ready to transition, though, but you always hear balance from the people that criticize Israel. We need to see more balance, don't we? There needs to be a balanced approach, a measured, balanced approach. I don't see much balance in these pro-Hamas demonstrations that are threatening Israel and threatening the Jewish community. Zero balance there whatsoever, Hammer.
All right, we're going to take a little break.
Okay.
When we come back, I'm going to need everybody's help. I'm going to need everybody's open ear Did John Kerry, the climate czar, fart at the climate group discussion panel? Okay, there's controversy. That is coming up next. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer, you heard about Bill Demery, our retirement guy, right? He's helping Indy residents add an instant 13% bonus on top of their retirement savings.
So for those who aren't very good at math, let me help you out. For every $100, you get an extra $13 more.
Yeah, and it adds up. So, like, for example, you can get $13,000 for every $100,000.
That's a solid bonus.
It is, no doubt about that. And then you get an extremely competitive return year after year. Over the last 10 years, it's been around 7%, backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
And Bill Demery, he's our retirement guy, and he also needs to be your retirement guy. So if you want that 13% bonus, Big Nige, where do they go?
Well, it's not going to last long, so you call Bill Demery right away, 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. 648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
Pierce Jewelers is Carmel's full-service jewelry store where all watch repair, jewelry repair, appraisals, or custom design is done in-house. See them at piercejewelers.com.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Ramp from southbound 31 to westbound 465. This is Carmel. The ramp is closed southbound 31 to westbound 465 because of a fatal crash from earlier this afternoon. Could be shut down through the duration of evening rush in those exit lanes to 465 backed up now to 106th Street. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, Hammer, you left us with quite a cliffhanger that last segment. Something about Biden's climate czar John Kerry and a fart.
We'll get to that. Okay?
Please.
Now, here's what you need to know. The big UN Climate Convention, it's underway. And Kamala Harris and John Kerry are there.
In Dubai.
They flew on separate private jets.
Leaving a hell of a carbon footprint. There's hundreds of jets flown privately to this place.
To Dubai, who runs more air conditioning than probably anybody in the world, and the host is a big oil boss. So that tells you everything you need to know about this climate convention. So the climate czar, John Kerry, his job is to whip up fear.
The scientists are saying this moment is alarming. It's without precedent. It is terrifying, some have said. And others will say we are in uncharted territory.
I've been saying that for 50 years.
Right. And his boss, Joe Biden, has said the same thing.
The single existential threat to the world is climate change. We don't have a lot of time, and that's a fact.
I don't think I heard Chris Wray of the FBI in that Senate hearing earlier today say anything about climate change. I don't think the threat level has been raised because of climate change. And oh, by the way, Joe Biden's not even there. So if this is such a big deal for Joe Biden, why isn't he there? So I'm going to read you this headline from the New York Post, okay?
Okay.
This is an actual headline. Quote, loud fart sound erupts during John Kerry's speech at climate panel.
Wait, that's a headline?
That's a headline from the Post. So turn your radios up. We're going to play you a piece of audio. Listen closely. There's a moment where John Kerry may or may not have floated an air biscuit.
I do not understand how adults who are in position of responsibility can be avoiding responsibility for taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis. And the reality is that
did you hear it?
The climate crisis and the health crisis are one and the same.
And the video, like there's a woman from CNN, Becky Anderson, sitting to his right. The minute you hear that little burn, she kind of makes a face and looks over at him. Here, we've isolated the potential fart from John Kerry.
Those things that are killing people on a daily basis.
Play it again.
Those things that are killing people on a daily basis.
For a guy that's, all about, we have to lower our emissions, he's put a lot of green gas out there himself, it sounds like. That's a fart. I'm a guy that knows what a fart sounds like.
Sure.
And John Kerry, he's polluting the atmosphere. He flew over there privately to Dubai, and he's putting out emissions. That's a problem. Which brings us to great moments in broadcast fart history. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Swalwell.
The president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
These are real. This is nothing that we've edited. Talk show host Wendy Williams has not only a burp, but she chased it with a fart.
And she probably got 5 new boyfriends. We haven't caught anybody coming out of the house yet, but just a matter of time. She's not lonely. I apologize.
The audible groan from the crowd.
Yeah, the gasp.
Oh. And this was a Kentucky weatherman who was trying so hard to hold it in.
Well, you'll notice we've already gotten 30s in Evansville where the transition has occurred, and it's 42 in Bedford. I just want to show you how cold this air is. It's 8 in Des Moines, Iowa.
I've never heard that one before.
He's trying so hard. He's biting his lip. His cheeks are turning pink. Allison, can I get it one more time?
Well, you'll notice we've already gotten 30s in Evansville where the transition has occurred, and it's 42 in Bedford. I just want to show you how cold this air is. It's 8 in Des Moines, Iowa.
You showed us. You did show us.
Oh, wow. He had to pause because he was concentrating so hard.
Right.
There was a pregnant pause there.
If you're looking for a reason to drink today.
Always.
On December 5th, 1933, Prohibition was canceled, Nige.
Yeah!
So how are we going to celebrate?
With a little 100% pure agave Espolón Tequila Blanco. Espolón Tequila Blanco.
Allison, you got your shot ready, right?
It's my American duty.
Oh, I like it when Allison drinks with us.
This is my wife's favorite tequila. We either go with this one or we're out of hiatus.
We need to get Glaze back in here.
Glaze back in here for some hiatus.
We need a Hammer and Nigel line of tequila to come out.
Please.
So, all right, to everybody listening in the audience, to the end of Prohibition, cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
I feel like Anderson Cooper. It's burning my lungs. Allison, you good?
It's burning my lungs.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Mark Dietel, expert real estate agent, only real estate agent I trust to sell my home or find me a new one. Cindy and George felt the same way. They had a job relocation with a hard start date, and they had them scrambling to get out of the house. They needed it sold fast. So Mark launched his intense marketing plan. He got multiple offers, and they sold for the price they needed and plenty of time to move with a little bit of cash in their pocket for their next house as well. That's how Mark Dietel does it. Give him a call, 317-755-4232.
Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is what separates Mark Dietel, the guarantee. Contact him today, 317-755-4232, or go online, markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. The professionals at C&J Water are once again offering unbelievable discounts for you to upgrade your current system or to create that dream water setup. Buy any one item, get 5% off the total. Buy any 2 items, enjoy a generous 10% off the total. Buy any 3 or more items, get an incredible 15% off your total purchase. Act now and make your water system goals a reality with C&J. They're local, they're exceptional, they're affordable. 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
If you think quality healthcare is out of reach for your small business, you have more options than you think. Jim Shoemaker can develop a customized plan that makes coverage for your team a reality. Jim understands the challenges of small businesses and can help you save hundreds every month, just like he did for Duvall & Son Garage.
We began working with Jim Shoemaker. He helped secure a great health insurance plan for our company and save us a lot of money.
Call or text today, 317-409-3963. Jim Shoemaker is a MedMutual insurance broker.
Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. The Fed creates and pops bubbles using interest rate manipulation. Why put the value of your IRA or 401k at their mercy? This is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To get a free info kit from Birch Gold, text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898. Do it now and protect your savings.
Let Bill Estes put you behind the wheel of the powerhouse brands that define American toughness. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC. Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on Ford trucks. Unleash the power of the road with Bill Estes Trucks. Find the location near you and see their inventory at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Prices include Costco membership rebate of $1,000. All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Stock numbers BCI 230444, BCJ 240066, BFB 230713. TRX Raptor and ZR2 models excluded from all offers. See dealer for details. Offer absolutely ends January 31st, 2024.
There are many ways to eat McDonald's world-famous fries. Some eat both ends of the fry first, others 2 at a time. And some eat them so fast, they forget how they ate them.
Download the app for offers like 20% off any order of $5 or more. Because when you tap into favorites like a Big Mac, McCrispy, or fries, you tap into delicious. Valid through 12/31/23 at participating McDonald's. Valid one time per day, excludes tax. Must opt into rewards. Visit McD app for details.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a man from Indianapolis will spend a dozen years behind bars for armed robbery. Indiana is short a few inches on typical rain accumulation for the year. And John Herrick reports on Free Press Indiana. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. It's about 43 degrees downtown and cloudy. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Two debates in one. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Immigration emerging as a key hurdle to President Biden's pitch for more foreign aid. The White House says the president is ready for a serious conversation about immigration reform, but that action is needed now.
Republicans in the House and Senate are pressing for stronger immigration enforcement and asylum laws as part of a $106 billion supplemental spending bill for Ukraine, Israel, the Indo-Pacific, and border security. Deputy White House Press Secretary Olivia Dalton says President Biden submitted immigration reform legislation on his first day in office. The White House budget director warns it will be very challenging to continue military assistance to Ukraine without new funding from Congress by the end of the year.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A much earlier ban on abortion proposed by 4 Republican state lawmakers in New Hampshire.
The bill, if passed, would ban abortions after 15 days of pregnancy. Current state law allows for abortions for up to 24 weeks. The proposed bill does offer exceptions, including when the mother's life is in danger.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The bill also says any healthcare provider who knowingly performs an abortion after 15 days could face a felony charge and a fine of up to $100,000. Shots fired before a house exploded in Virginia, but there is no search for a suspect.
The suspect was inside the residence at the time of the explosion, and he is presumed at this point to be deceased.
Arlington County Police Chief Andy Penn says 56-year-old James Yu is identified as the owner of that duplex where a flare-type gun was fired more than 30 times, and more shots were fired as police responded to complaints late yesterday afternoon. Penn says Yu didn't respond to phone calls or a loudspeaker. Officers were trying to execute a search warrant several hours later when the massive explosion happened. The cause of that remains under investigation. Mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow down 79 at the bell. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why he'll serve time. Cloudy, 43 degrees on the circle. The radar clear outside of some rain to the east. Low of 33 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. The robbery was not the big score he wanted. Now Joseph Johnson will spend the next 12 years in prison. Donnie Burgess reports.
Johnson lied to the supermarket employees about what he really wanted back on May 17th. He said he needed medicine, but what he really wanted was everything in the register. He walked out with $500, but police quickly tracked him down using a license plate reader. He was arrested the next day. Police also found the BB gun believed to have been used in the robbery. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana still more than 7 inches below its normal average for rainfall this time of year.
We need a little bit more active weather pattern to sort of transition that to where we can get some heavier rain in, and that will catch us up hopefully eventually.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service doesn't expect rain back in your forecast until Sunday. U.S. Air Force combat veteran Jennifer Ruth Green is endorsing current Indiana Senator Mike Braun to be the next governor of Indiana. Braun says he's thankful to have her support.
Again, what a pleasure to have you visit here today. This is where I built my business, and looking forward to taking Indiana, where you live, the whole state to that next level.
Let's do it.
Other candidates running for governor include Indiana's former Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers, former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill, and Indiana's current Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch. Getting you free access to local news is the goal of Free Press Indiana. They started a news service called Mirror Indy today. John Herrick reports.
In that free service, you get access to news that affects Indianapolis for now, but eventually that'll change.
Mirror Indy is the first newsroom of Free Press Indiana, which is one of the nation's largest nonprofit news startups. And eventually we will branch out into other markets across the state.
Ebony Chappelle with Free Press Indiana says many rural areas cannot get access to the local news they need, something her organization hopes to improve. WIBC News is a content-sharing partner with Free Press Indiana. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. Your time is 4:04.
The holidays are here. You might be busy decorating your home, from twinkling lights and wreaths to festive stars and candles. But what if something not so magical is hiding right beneath your feet? Have you noticed nasty smells, mold or mildew in your crawl space? Cracks on interior or exterior walls? Leaks or standing water? Sticking doors or windows? Heightened or worsening allergies and asthma even when you're indoors? Pests or bugs? Uneven sagging or bouncy floors? Drainage issues? If so, you need to schedule a free inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. The team's experts will identify your home's issue at the source. Schedule Indiana Foundation Service to come out as soon as possible. Solving these problems can provide peace of mind during the holiday season, knowing that your home is secure and safe for your family and guests.
Indiana Foundation Service, reliability from the ground up.
With traffic on the 5s at 405, here's Matt Bear.
Ramp closed Harrison on the north side. It's because of a fatal crash. The ramp from southbound 31 to westbound 465 is shut down and could be for several hours as police investigate. In the meantime, you can use Keystone Parkway or Michigan Road to make your entrance to westbound. Inbound 65 stop and go 29th to Meridian. Padded eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue 269. Traffic sponsored by Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. Wendy's Peppermint Frosty is back for the holidays, so take some time to chill this year. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy tonight, a low down to 33. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, quiet, a high of 42. And Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and warmer with highs back to the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So
Hey, by the way, Hammer, the Ron DeSantis, Gavin Newsom debate drew about 4.5 million viewers. Heads and tails above previous town halls / debate style functions with Donald Trump over the past couple times. So that's a pretty good bump.
It is. And I wonder if it would have been as watched if it were on CNN. Because Fox News, even without Tucker Carlson, is still rated number one. So there's already a pretty good built-in audience. Like, I wonder if that would have been on CNN, Gavin Newsom's home court, so to speak, if they would have pulled in those types of numbers.
Nobody watches those dirtbags. I mean,
those dirtbags have been in third place for years.
It was 3 to 4 million when Trump was on CNN.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be a little lower than that. We've got another debate coming up, I believe, tomorrow night.
Oh, no.
4.
No.
That's the number of people that are going to be on the stage.
I thought that's going to be the number of viewers.
I'm not denying it. I'm not saying no.
That's what you were going to say.
4 viewers.
You and I will be 2 of them.
DeSantis, Haley, Ramaswamy, and somehow Christie.
Oh, that
Chris
guy.
Christie has survived this thing. He's like a cockroach. Like, Doug dropped out yesterday, but yet Chris Christie keeps on plugging along. When Pence has gone away, Chris Christie's still there just to troll Donald Trump.
That's exactly it. He's still got people. He's got the donors, the donor class giving him money, keeping him in line just so he can remind people of how awful the big, mean orange man is. How is he going to run a campaign from the courtroom? Well, I got news for you. He's doing it already.
Right. You're 100% right. With this debate tomorrow, though, what can we hear that we've not heard already? There have been, 3 of these things already? 2 or 3? I've lost track. But without Donald Trump there, what the hell? Like, it's wearing me out at this point. I'm just ready to move on to Iowa. Let's turn all of our attention to Iowa or do individual town halls or debates. Like, I liked the DeSantis versus Newsom thing. One-on-one. I thought that was pretty good.
I'm not sure quite what the point of it was, other than ratings.
Showing red America versus blue America, maybe?
And DeSantis being able to get his message out there without being shouted down by the other people, other GOP, Republicans on the stage.
Right.
Basically unfettered access to his platform to tell everybody what his view, his vision of America is.
What I liked about the DeSantis-Newsom deal was DeSantis did a really good job of getting Newsom on the record. You love Joe Biden. You think Bidenomics is working. You think he's got all of his mental faculties. He's not missing a step at all. All right, we've got you on the record now. So that was a good thing because it seems like Gavin Newsom's the only man in America, including the Democrats, that is all in on Joe Biden. Now, maybe he's playing that corporate, company man butt kisser role because he knows he's the next man up if Joe Biden is voluntold you're not running again. But CNN's made an announcement. So on the heels of what we saw with DeSantis and Newsom, they're going to be doing Republican town halls. So just one candidate on a stage, and Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy, they're going to be the two. DeSantis will take the stage Tuesday, December 12th. This will be with Jake Tapper as the moderator. And then Ramaswamy will do his town hall the next night, Wednesday the 13th, with CNN's Abby Phillip as the moderator. Now, I'm excited for this for one reason. Both of these guys have no problem giving a middle finger to CNN, MSNBC, and the media that usually carries the water for the Democrat Party. Hell, the last debate, this was Vivek Ramaswamy going off on NBC right to their face.
Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go. Mr.
Sorry. Just sitting there with a doofus smile on her face.
So if Abby Phillip of CNN gets a hair on her backside and decides to get cute with Vivek, he's going to bring the heat. And of all the folks on CNN that could probably counterpunch, she is the low person on the totem pole. She is not very good when she gets called out. Like Jake Tapper doing DeSantis's event, all right, those two are going to have a pretty spirited back and forth, which, to be honest with you, it's not really the moderator's job to go back and forth, but Jake Tapper is at least willing to engage. Abby Phillip is a zero. And if she tries to get cute on Ramaswamy, he's going to bury her. Few quick notes here we wanted to pass along. I love holiday events. Like we talked to Eddie White earlier. Pacers are doing a toy drive. I love that kind of stuff. There's a toy drive going on in Greenfield this Saturday.
Oh, cool.
I went up there last night and I was helping set up some of the PA equipment that they're using for this.
Okay.
It's at the Hancock County Fairgrounds, noon to 4. And what's cool about this is you don't have to get out of your car. You can drive by with, a toy or some sort of gift for a child. And no matter what the weather is, rainy, cold, whatever, the staff there, they'll take it out, they'll take care of it, they'll set it out, and you don't have to get out of your car. You can totally drive through and do this. It's at the Hancock County Fairgrounds in Greenfield from noon to 4 this Saturday. So if you are out and about, if you're in that neck of the woods, so to speak, go get a toy for some kid that's a little less fortunate and make his Christmas a little brighter, and you don't have to get out of your car. You can drink your Starbucks, you can eat your Big Mac, and do all the things, and the awesome staff will take care of you. This Friday night, it's the Radiothon, WIBC Radiothon for the Salvation Army.
This has been going on 25, 26, 27 years now. You and I have been a part of it since about 2016, I believe. We haven't missed a year, even COVID, we did it. And I'm fired up.
I am too.
I love doing this.
I'm telling you, this is how much I love this event and how much I want to help people. I have every opportunity to go to Las Vegas and watch the Pacers in that in-season tournament. The game is Thursday, but our radiothon is Friday. And I don't want to miss not having a connecting flight because I love helping these Hoosier families in need. And this is true because I was texting you guys last night. I could basically go. I'm ready to go.
Go to the game and then take a red eye back.
Yeah, but man, if my flight gets canceled, I couldn't live with myself because I'd feel bad about screwing over the Salvation Army. I mean, you have to be a real a-hole to not help the Salvation Army when they need it the most. And I understand. A couple of years ago, they had some, worm put out a statement that was super woke and it rubbed people the wrong way. Hell, it rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like it. And we had their Salvation Army guy come into studio and we read him the riot act. But at the end of the day, we've all taken tours to go to the Salvation Army, and we've seen what they do at that bed and breakfast club, taking care of women and children and families that have nowhere to go. And I got news for you. Those kids, those families, they do not care who you voted for. They do not care about your politics. They just need help. And all the money we raise this Friday is going here in Indiana to help the Salvation Army.
We can start it early, can't we?
We can. So we've got these virtual kettles going on right now. So I put a tweet out earlier. So if you go to the Hammer and Nigel Show Twitter feed, scroll down, there's a Hammer link and there's a Nigel link. You can make a donation to either one. It all goes to the same place. If you want to make a donation now, you can. If you want to donate on Friday when we're on the air, you can do that as well. But all of the money stays here in Central Indy. And if you donate to my link, Jason Hammer's link, our good friends at Indy Decorative Concrete, they're stepping up and offering to match all of the donations to my virtual kettle up to $500.
That's awesome.
So go check that out.
Now, mine is, I don't, let's see here. I don't have anything in my virtual kettle. Somebody please help me. My good friends at Galaxy Concrete Coatings stepping up and offering to match donations in my virtual red kettle up to $1,000. So we have those links up there. We would really like to get some cash going in these things.
Right.
Before Radiothon even starts. And you've got the link where?
On our Twitter feed. Just scroll down a couple tweets. You will see both links, a Hammer link and a Nigel link. Click on either one. Again, all the money goes to the same place. And I know Matt Baer, who's in our traffic center, you've got a link as well, right, Matt?
Yes, I do. And we tweeted that out earlier this morning. If you'd like to hook up with that and check it out, it's at Matt in Traffic. Thank you for that, Hammer. And thank you, Salvation Army. Southbound 31 to westbound 465 on the north side. That is a crash and closure. As we look at the ramp, you can go eastbound from southbound 31, not westbound. Again, a fatal crash. And Harrison will have more on that coming up at 4:30. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. Make the hiring process work for you with Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution. You could attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and all of this talk about toy drives and helping out the less fortunate, it's got me in the holiday spirit, Nige. I think something we could all use right now is a holiday memory from the First Lady of WIBC, the lovely Terry Stacy.
We celebrate Christmas in our family.
Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
My uncle used to dress up like Santa and demand that I sit on his lap. But what was weird was that I was 17 years old and it was in July.
Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
Is this anything? Next.
My new Galaxy Concrete garage floor is going to be so easy to clean this winter. Really, all it takes is water and soap and a squeegee. And it's like, you should have seen my garage floor before Galaxy Coatings got a hold of it. It was cracked, dirty, uneven, just never been cared for. And as little as a day, the super staff of Galaxy Concrete Coatings changed it into something 4 times stronger. Like I said, easy to clean, won't fade, and they did not use epoxy. That was the old standard. This is better. They used polyurea. That's basically the new premium standard for coatings. Don't forget about their lifetime warranty as well. Before and after pictures on their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's info 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Fine to an Advent calendar. It doesn't stop when the Christmas lights come down. With the Salvation Army, your love lasts all year long. It puts a Christmas present under someone's tree today and a roof over someone's head tomorrow. It brightens Christmas morning and the hardest nights for hardworking families. Together, we love beyond Christmas. Give $25 a month to support local families all year long at sacentralindiana.org.
Downtown Indy, dressed in holiday style and adorned with bright lights and holiday sights all season long. Where friends visit Monument Circle with its festive lighting, audio, and video presentations every night of the week. Make new memories while enjoying award-winning restaurants just steps away from your favorite attractions, sporting events, and performances. Come winter wander in downtown. Come for an event, stay for a holiday experience. Go to downtownindy.org/holiday happenings for all the info.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. The Fed creates and pops bubbles using interest rate manipulation. Why put the value of your IRA or 401k at their mercy? This is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To get a free info kit from Birch Gold, text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898. Do it now and protect your savings.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I will run some stories by you. You be the one that breaks down all the information and gives us a verdict. Is the story anything or not? Is this anything? An Ohio man is being charged after shooting some dude in the face because he refused to share his potato chips. Here's part of the arrest of Melvin Wright and him claiming that he's innocent while in the back of the police cruiser.
Well, we already got a start. How many people are supposed to be on there? Did we get them?
Yeah. You got a weapon on you, bro? Where's it at? In your backpack?
That's all I've been doing, is just trying to get my life together with God. Definitely wasn't me.
Hey, look, I'm trying to get my life together with God. I was praying. It definitely wasn't me that shot this guy in the face because he wouldn't share his ranch Doritos. Yeah, this is something that's, again, what do we always talk about on this show? We don't have to take it to a serious level here, but, I mean, pulling out your gun and using it for ridiculous purposes. I mean,
right.
Other than self-defense. Yo, you won't let me have your potato chips, son? Okay, well, let me show you how it's done here.
Whatever happened to just, beating the hell out of somebody? Like, I kind of miss the days where people would just brawl instead of shooting each other for potato chips.
I've recently rediscovered salt and vinegar potato chips. They are so good.
Where do they rank on your list of potato chips? What is the potato chip you would shoot somebody in the face for?
The salt and vinegar, they're up there. The cheddar ruffles.
The Cheds. Yeah.
Cheddar cheese ruffles are really up there. Maybe some...
I'm a sour cream guy.
Sour cream and chives, yeah.
I love the sour cream chips, man, especially when they're like fresh out the bag and they're big still and not the crumbles at the bottom. That's so good.
I like going to a bar and getting the kettle chips instead of the French fries. Most of the times I'll get like a burger and the kettle chips.
Allison, what's the potato chip you would shoot somebody in the face for?
I think it would be the Ruffles cheddar. That's my top one. It's so good.
Yeah. And now I want potato chips. Thanks, guys.
I mean, Pringles in there for anybody? I've never been that giant of a Pringles fan. And especially when that little tube starts to, there's only a few left. You can't get your hand down in there.
How many Pringles do you put in your mouth at once? Like how many, when you pull it out of that little tube thing, what is the point of embarrassment on that?
I would probably go 5 on Av.
On Av? Oh, I'm way above that.
Really?
Yeah, like those things are pretty thin, right? So like 5 even, it's probably at least a minimum of 9. I think it's a minimum of 9.
Okay.
So that's the question I'm going to throw out there on our YouTube chat, which is rolling right now on the stream. Make sure you jump in and watch the live show in studio. Also, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook. Number 1, what's the potato chip you would shoot somebody in the face for? And number 2, how many Pringles do you put in your mouth at once? What's the over-under there?
Lay's, cheddar, and sour cream. Can't go wrong there. Do we go Lay's or do we go Ruffles?
I'm a Lay's man, personally. I like the Lay's better.
You don't like the ridges in the
I'm
Ruffles?
not against the ridges. Now, if I have dip, if there's a dip available, that's a game changer.
Yeah,
and then I've got to get the Ruffles.
Yeah.
Because the Ruffles and the ridges, they hold the dip better.
Yes.
God, I'm fat.
Nothing worse. Nothing worse than dipping your chip and the onion dip and it having to break off.
Right.
Oh, that's just the worst.
Okay, since we're having this conversation, since we're having real talk about potato chips and dip here, what's better? Potato chip in like the onion dip.
French onion or something like that.
Or like the tortilla chip dipped in like the salsa or the queso. Which chip dip combination is better?
Dude.
Allison, I'm going to defer to you on this one.
Don't do this
I
to
think
me.
it's a French dip. It's a classic.
So the regular potato chip with like the onion
the
French
Ruffles
dip.
with the French onion dip. Yep.
Nige?
Nothing better than bellying up to your favorite Mexican joint, ordered in a 32-ounce thing of Dos Equis Amber, and sitting there eating chips and salsa.
Right.
Or maybe even get some queso with
guac.
some guac or queso. I'm going with chips and salsa and guac and queso.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with Nige on this one. Let us know your thoughts at Hammer and Nigel. Big Nige.
Yes.
Did you hear that our retirement guy, Bill Demery, helping Indy residents add an extra 13% bonus on top of their retirement savings?
That's incredible. So like every $100 gets you $13 more?
Right. You can get $13,000 for every 100 grand.
Okay, so that adds up. 13% is one heck of a bonus, right?
It is. And then you can get an extremely competitive return year after year. Over the last 10 years, it's been like 7%.
Wow.
Backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
So I guess that's why Indy calls Bill Demery your retirement guy. So if listeners want their 13% bonus right now, what should they do?
Just pick up the phone and call 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. This may not last long. 317-648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Caught trying to break in. Cloudy and 43 degrees downtown. Mostly clear under radar. Low temperatures fall to the lower 30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Once trending at 4:30. An Indianapolis homeowner came to the defense of his neighbor this morning.
Because some bad guys with guns wanted to break into a house. I'm Ryan Hedrick. It happened on the city's northeast side near 46th and Fall Creek Parkway. Peace and quiet around 2:15. All of a sudden, neighbors heard gunshots and a Ring doorbell cam caught would-be robbers firing shots at a man who was hit in the head. His neighbor drove him to a local fire station, possibly saving his life, and now Indy Metro cops are looking for 2 to 3 men who pulled the trigger. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville says he's dropping most of the holds on hundreds of military promotions. 4-star generals are excluded.
We're encouraged by the news and we'll continue to stay engaged with Senator Tuberville and the Senate directly to urge that all the holds on all our general and flag officer nominations be lifted.
Pentagon Press Secretary Brigadier General Pat Ryder. The Alabama Republican was holding up military nominations in protest of a Defense Department policy that allows service members to be reimbursed for travel costs related to getting an abortion. It was a quick robbery and a quick arrest. Donnie Burgess reports a man is headed to prison for 12 years.
Joe Johnson walked into a supermarket in Indianapolis back in May and asked 2 employees for medication. Then he stuck a gun in their face and walked out with $500 cash. He didn't get far thanks to the store security camera, which picked up a partial plate number. That's all police needed to track Johnson down the next day. He tried to make a run for it, but was caught and eventually convicted. It turns out he used a BB gun to rob that store. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Temperatures will be in the 40s once again tomorrow, says Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service.
And they'll warm up a little bit by the time we get to the latter part of the week. So Thursday and Friday look quite a bit warmer. We'll have sunshine on Thursday, and temperatures should warm up into the 50s.
Bowers says rain could be back in the forecast by Sunday. The closing bell report brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow dropping 79 points today to 36,124. The NASDAQ up by 44 to 14,229. The S&P 500 fell by 2 to 4,567. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. Your time is 4:32.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong, profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle in retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory service is offered through Gradient Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
Traffic at 4:33. Here's Matt Baer.
Harrison, the ramp from southbound 31 westbound 465 is still closed because of a fatal crash. You can go eastbound from southbound 31, just not westbound, and that could be the case here for the next couple of hours as Carmel police continue to investigate. Right now, southbound 65 is stop and go. MLK 221st, eastbound 70 stop and go traffic. before Belmont to Meridian, Illinois on the south side eastbound 465. Stop and go from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy tonight, a low down to 33. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, quiet, a high of 42. And Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and warmer with highs back to the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
This situation absolutely requires a really futile and stupid gesture be done on somebody's part. We're just the guys to do it.
Hammer and Nigel.
FBI Director Christopher Wray in front of a committee today. Basically, the point was to talk about how the FBI is moving as quickly as it can to stop this growing number of reported threats against Jewish and, he says, Muslim people across the United States amid the Israel-Hamas war. Anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim hate crimes have surged. It's just so it's not funny, but I see anti-Israel, pro-Hamas demonstrations all across this country. I see people gluing themselves to the Brooklyn Bridge. I see, anti-Israel, pro-Hamas demonstrations on college campuses. I have not. Have you seen any anti-Muslim demonstrations?
No, I haven't.
The size and scope of
I've seen a couple pro-Israel, like when Monument
yeah.
Circle had their deal.
Of course, there has been, yeah.
But
and in Washington, there on the monument, one of the biggest, hundreds of thousands of people. It was inspiring to see. But but Chris Wray, FBI Director Chris Wray, in front of the committee today, Senate committee, talking about that was the main point. But he was getting grilled from all ends on all sorts of subjects.
The Biden crime family was a hot topic today. The shady antics, if you want to call it that, of the FBI being very selective, going after certain groups and letting others go. And then there was Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Now, she is the one that has a personal connection to sex trafficking. She has a loved one, I think it's a cousin, that was involved in being a victim of sex trafficking. Oh, no. Wow. So this is a cause that's very near and dear to her heart. She was pressing FBI Director Wray on why the FBI ignored a lot of the allegations from Jeffrey Epstein's victims.
As to the Epstein case specifically, I will tell you it's been a while since I looked at that case. Obviously, we worked together with prosecutors to bring charges before he...
I realize that.
Yeah.
But what we need from you is a complete investigation of why the FBI did not take this up, and then getting to the bottom of what is appearing to be an enormous sex trafficking ring, and listening to these survivors, and as I said, I've tried to get a subpoena on the flight logs. I think people need to know who was on those planes.
Well, as I said, it's been a while since I looked at the specific case. Let me offer to have let me get with my team and figure out if there's more information we can provide to.
That would be great. We have never, even through the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, we never got to the bottom of this, and we have these survivors who say, oh, there is so much more. They swept it under the rug, and that is wrong, and you need to right that wrong.
Chris Wray was like, the FBI director was like, hey, Epstein's dead. I barely even pay attention to this stuff anymore. But Blackburn is so right. I mean, what do we know here? We know there were a bunch of women that got paid out, giant settlements from corporations who were financially backing Epstein. We've got, what's her boobs that's in jail?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Where are the flight logs and where's the list? We got a whole host of victims who assaulted these victims.
And why was that list sealed up by the prosecution, not the defense of Ghislaine Maxwell, who won? Because the defense lost, the prosecution won. But the lawyer for the prosecution was Leakin' Lion James Comey's daughter, the previous FBI director. Why on God's green earth would that list be sealed up in perpetuity? Because they're covering something up. I mean, unless you're incredibly naive, the reason that was sealed up by the prosecution, which happened to be Comey's daughter, was there were some incriminating names probably on those flight logs that went to Pedophile Island that they did not want to get out. And it floors me because if there's one thing this country does not have a shortage in, it's reporters and investigators. There's an awful lot of those in this country. And for every TV station that's got an investigative journalist, for every national outlet that has an investigative team, I'm shocked that nobody is working hard to find out who was on the flight logs and who actually went to the island. I'm not talking about who flew with Jeffrey Epstein to an event, here or there. Yeah, who went down to Pedophile Island for the sole purpose of having sex with young girls? That should be something that brings this country together. Again, Republicans and Democrats, I think we can all agree, pedophiles are the worst. And yet that list exists and nobody wants to find out who was on it. You could put a lot of bad, sleazy people behind bars. And if it's Republicans and Democrats, I do not care. Lock that ass up. But we're not doing that as a country. The FBI is not doing that. Investigative journalists are not doing that.
It's maybe because they know they'll get the Epstein treatment. They got to him in jail.
Right.
Or in prison. No. Was it prison or was it the still in the county jail where he was where he hung himself?
Right. And it was just an amazing string of coincidence that the guards were gone, the cameras were down, broken, and he ended up dead. It happens all the time.
Oh, the guards were, I think, asleep, weren't they? Were the guards asleep? I think they fell asleep.
Okay. So they weren't doing their jobs, and the video was down. Got it. I still maintain, if that list had been nothing but Republicans, if it were Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Josh Hawley, Matt Gaetz, if it was all those guys, that list would have been out that night. But there's something on that list that these people do not want out, whether it's Hollywood elite, whether it's folks in Washington, whether it's former presidents, we don't know.
It's so creepy that Ghislaine Maxwell took the time to get her helicopter license, her pilot's license, because the pilots were getting suspicious of her flying back and forth to Epstein Island, Pervert Island, Pedo Island with these young girls. So in order to avoid any appearance of impropriety, she just got her own pilot's license. And she would procure the talent, so to speak, the underage girls, and fly them there herself.
First, she would mentor these young girls.
Yeah.
Like she'd build up a trust and a relationship to these young girls coming from either problem families, or she would meet up with them at camps and become like a guidance counselor and a confidant and a friend, earn their trust, and then ultimately sell them out to these horrible people. And I hope Marsha Blackburn gets everything she's looking for here. Feels like she's the only one still concerned about this. I hope she gets the subpoenas. I hope she gets what she's looking for. Allison, hit me with some legal stuff. Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff. So a lot of people claim they may have had a crazy Thanksgiving. All the relatives together, you start drinking, you start talking smack, maybe you play a football game, you're playing some cards, whatever the case may be. A lot of people's definition of crazy, goes along with Thanksgiving. But I feel pretty confident that nobody had a Thanksgiving like the fine folks in Battle Creek, Michigan.
All right.
Police in Battle Creek have been investigating a house where, on Thanksgiving, everybody overdosed. All 10 people in the house were found unresponsive, some of them with, quote, deceased breathing. Emergency responders were able to respond to all the victims, and nobody has passed away. They had to use Narcan on some of these folks.
Wait. You're saying that when you say overdose, it's not like alcohol poisoning or something, right? Are you talking about drugs?
The health department says they believe they were all doing cocaine, but it was laced with something, probably fentanyl.
10? You said the number is 10?
10.
Family members?
Deceased breathing, which is like this close to kicking it, but they arrived with Narcan and they were able to revive everybody.
Now that's what I call a party.
So this happened in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Wow.
I'm wondering, after the Lions lost, if that was the final straw. Because they were a heavy favorite against Green Bay that day. And this was going to be the year that the Lions took back Thanksgiving and brought joy to the people of Michigan. And Jordan Love and the Packers went in there. Next thing you know, they're doing laced Coke and 10 people on the floor.
Wow. That's crazy.
I've
been to some dysfunctional family gatherings before, but nothing of that magnitude.
And who was the one that called 911? Is he the winner?
Yeah.
Is that the last man standing? Did he win Thanksgiving because he got the call 911?
Is that what is happening now? Is that fentanyl is even being cut in with cocaine?
Oh, yeah. Like this stuff, they're snorting it. They're putting it into injections, man. It's a problem. And there's enough coke and there's enough fentanyl in this country to basically kill everybody right now. So it's easily accessible. Anybody that wants it can find it. And they had a house party in Battle Creek, Michigan, and 10 people all on the floor, but they're going to be all right. All right, coming up next, Biden Madness, the in-season tournament. We are in the Final Four. We will announce yesterday's winner, who will punch their ticket to the championship and have a new head-to-head matchup. A spot in the finals is on the line. Biden Madness in-season tournament next.
Low T Center is really your one-stop shop for all things men's health. At Low T Center, they make it easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with their on-site labs, you'll get your results back in 25 minutes. So when we're talking about customized testosterone treatments here, you got to go someplace you can trust. That's Low T Center. And if you've been feeling tired, grumpy, notice weight gain, loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low T levels.
Right now, at the Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T level tested, and you get your results back in about 25 minutes. You get in, you get out, and at the Low T Center, they do so much more than just screening for testosterone issues. They can check you for sleep apnea, some cancers. It is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment right now. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I've had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know that when you need plumbing help, call who I call, my friends at Hope Plumbing. They're locally owned and committed to putting the customer and this community first. They know spending your hard-earned money on unexpected plumbing isn't exactly at the top of your wish list this holiday season. So for the rest of the year, they're giving you $100 off any plumbing service. Call Hope Plumbing today at 317-641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
There's a lot of sexy content on the internet. And there's WIBC, full of faces meant for radio. Hammer and Nigel, Kendall and Casey. Okay, Casey could be on TV. Now streaming every day on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/WIBC.
Biden madness, a spot in the finals of the in-season tournament. Coming up right after a look at the roads with Matt Baer.
All right, Hammer, I'm in Carmel. Southbound 31 to westbound to 465. That ramp is closed because of a fatal crash from earlier this afternoon, so you cannot exit westbound. You can exit eastbound. However, the exit lanes to 465 backed up past 111th. People are using Keystone Parkway to access 465 right now, so southbound Parkway is stop and go from 106th Street down to 96. Eastbound 465 jams at Westfield Boulevard to the White River. Inbound 69, stop and go 96 to 82nd, and coming into downtown jam from MLK to Meridian Penn. That's southbound 65. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So the Pacers are moving on to Vegas in the NBA's in-season tournament.
What a game last night.
Good to see the field house rocking and rolling again.
Especially after they got beat by 50 by that team, the Celtics.
Right.
Not too long ago.
So here on the Hammer and Nigel Show, we thought if the NBA could have an exciting in-season tournament, we can do the same with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The Biden Madness in-season tournament. We took 4 clips of Joe Biden, the 2 previous winners of Biden Madness with 2 new clips, against 4 clips of Kamala Harris doing Kamala Harris things, not making sense and doing word salad. In the first round, it was a sweep by Joe Biden. Biden beat Kamala in every matchup. So yesterday, the first Final Four matchup was the number 5 seed, where Joe Biden was speaking in Vietnam, and he just gave up and said, I want to go to bed, and had a blank stare to the crowd with his mouth slightly open.
He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
And that goofy, I'm dead inside stare to the crowd.
His mouth open, mouth breather. This is a guy that's the most powerful man in the world on a world stage. We're going to go to bed.
So that went head-to-head against the number 1 seed in our tournament, the Kansas, if you want to call it that, of the March Madness bracket, the winner of the first Biden Madness, Joe Biden trying to recite the Declaration of Independence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
So the winner of yesterday's matchup by a score of 68.8% to 31.2%.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
So you know the thing. Moving on to the finals.
Strong. I mean, I want to go to bed. I think was highly underrated.
It was. It was a scrappy 6 seed that clawed its way to the Final Four. Here's today's matchup. The number 6 seed. Go to bed was actually 5. Today is number 6. It's folksy racism by Joe Biden. He was at an event this past year, and he was supposed to talk about LL Cool J. And he butchers his name, and then he calls him boy.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's spent.
So we got an LLJ Cool J. That boy. Man, that's strong.
That's a big one.
Going against the number 2 seed, the winner of the second annual Biden Madness tournament. This is when it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And Joe Biden pandering to a church in Michigan, I believe it was, in Detroit. Martin Luther King III was there. It was his wife, Andrea's birthday. Now, I can't stress that enough. Her name is Andrea.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Violet. Happy birthday to you.
Did I catch a Velvet in there?
He didn't even try.
Who the hell is Velvet?
It's like an episode of Seinfeld.
Mulva? So you can vote right now. On Twitter, it's posted live. Your votes decide who moves on to the championship. Is it Joe Biden butchering LL Cool J's name and calling him boy, or Happy Birthday Velvet? You can vote right now.
It's going to be close.
At Hammer and Nigel on Twitter. We'll pin it to the top. You've got 23 hours to get your votes in. All right, when we come back, scary scene. Another violent evening in Central Indy. We'll talk about that, and it's scam season. Don't be ripped off. We've got that on the way. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These ideas were more than just a history lesson for a young Chuck Goodrich. They were a call to action. Growing up in Rowan, Indiana, Chuck took the principles of our nation's founding to heart, believing that in America, anything is possible. Chuck Goodrich was also raised with Midwestern values and learned about a strong work ethic and how to treat people with respect. While paying his way through Purdue, Chuck Goodrich earned an internship at Gaylor Electric. Now, 30 years later, Chuck Goodrich owns that same company and employs 2,000 people. A lot has changed for Chuck Goodrich. However, Chuck and his wife Tricia instill the same conservative values in their family as they place faith and family first. Now, Chuck Goodrich is running for Congress because he believes too many in Washington have forgotten the simple, common sense ideas that make America special. Chuck Goodrich, conservative Republican for Congress.
I'm Chuck Goodrich, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go With Chuck Goodrich Committee.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
Good mornings become great mornings when you have McDonald's breakfast. Now grab a sausage McMuffin, sausage biscuit, or hash browns and get another for $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, is sponsoring the Matt Bear Salvation Army Radiothon virtual kettle this week on WIBC.com. B&W will match your donation up to $500 if you give by 6 a.m. Friday. Go to WIBC.com, look for the Salvation Army Radiothon, and click on the Matt Bear link. Thanks to B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, your trusted independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer serving Central Indiana.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs in cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight. Here, try these. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors. Ooh, I can already feel it. I told you. So, you ready? I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
If you think quality healthcare is out of reach for your small business, you have more options than you think. Jim Shoemaker can develop a customized plan that makes coverage for your team a reality. Jim understands the challenges of small businesses and can help you save hundreds every month, just like he did for Duvall & Son Garage.
We began working with Jim Shoemaker. He helped secure a great health insurance plan for our company and save us a lot of money.
Call or text today, 317-409-3963. Jim Shoemaker is a MedMutual insurance broker.
Santa Claus was on his way when a mean old Grinch crashed into his sleigh. Santa called the hammer, and the hammer saved Christmas Day. Go to WeWin.com.
Merry Christmas from the Hammer.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Ryan Hedrick reports on a failed break-in and a shooting this morning. Why a man from Indianapolis will be spending 12 years behind bars, and who's endorsing Mike Braun to become the next governor of Indiana. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You have temperatures in the 40s, plenty of clouds in the sky in downtown Indianapolis. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, it's 5 o'clock.
A big if from the president. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden telling supporters a short time ago, if Trump wasn't running, he's not sure he'd be running. But he adds, we can't let him win. This as the president attends a fundraiser outside Boston. Former President Trump will be in Davenport, Iowa tonight for a Fox News town hall, while 4 other Republican candidates prepare for their next debate tomorrow night.
Trump is skipping Wednesday's debate, as he has all the other debates, and is expected to host a fundraiser instead for his super PAC. Trump is dominating in the polls, including in Iowa, where the Real Clear Politics average has him with 47%. His next closest rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, has 17% in Iowa. In New Hampshire, former U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley is in second place behind the former president by 27 points.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. President Biden also saying today that we have to figure out what after Gaza. He's also pledging again to continue working to get all hostages out. And he says to get the pause in fighting back on track. This as Israel expands a ground operation in southern Gaza. A House hearing on trans athletes and women's sports and whether Title IX protections for female athletes are being violated. Former college swimmer Riley Gaines telling lawmakers,
this issue is incredibly underreported for various reasons. But common sense Americans know intuitively that this is not fair to women. And science, of course, supports that instinct.
Also arguing it's a safety issue. A spokesperson for the National Center for Transgender Equality says the issue is fear, not fact. The trans athletes don't dominate sports and that decisions about participation should be left to athletes, parents, schools, and leagues. Amtrak suspending service between Seattle and Portland through at least 8:30 tomorrow morning local time because of a landslide. This as the region is hit with flooding from an atmospheric river. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A break-in gone wrong. Cloudy and 42 degrees on the Circle. Scattered showers surrounding most of 465. Low of 33 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. An Indianapolis homeowner came to the defense of his neighbor this morning
because some bad guys with guns wanted to break into a house. I'm Ryan Hedrick. It happened on the city's northeast side near 46th and Fall Creek Parkway. Peace and quiet around 2:15. All of a sudden, neighbors heard gunshots and a Ring doorbell cam caught would-be robbers firing shots at a man who was hit in the head. His neighbor drove him to a local fire station, possibly saving his life, and now Indy Metro cops are looking for 2 to 3 men who pulled the trigger. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC, Mobile News.
A man accused of armed robbery was given a 12-year prison sentence, says the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Joseph Johnson was caught last May on security cameras robbing a supermarket off Michigan Street. Johnson was arrested May 18th, the day following the robbery. Police believe he used a BB gun to threaten a cashier out of $500. U.S. Air Force combat veteran Jennifer Ruth Green is endorsing current Indiana Senator Mike Braun to be the next governor of Indiana. Braun says he's thankful for the support.
Again, what a pleasure to have you visit here today. This is where I built my business, and looking forward to taking Indiana, where you live, the whole state, to that next level.
Let's do it.
Other candidates running for governor include Indiana's former Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers, former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill, and Indiana's current Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch. The nonprofit news group Free Press Indiana feels there's a need for better local journalism.
But in some of our rural communities, we have what are described as news deserts, where there is not a local news presence.
Ebony Chappelle with Free Press Indiana says they started up a newsroom. They're calling it Mirror Indy. It's going to focus on news in Indianapolis and expand from there. They're also going to be a content-sharing partner with WIBC. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Basements get a bad rap. Probably because so many of them are wet, leaky, and musty. Thanks to screenwriters, crawl spaces aren't very popular either. Michaelis is putting an end to the horror show. Their time-tested waterproofing systems eliminate and prevent water issues. Damp and moldy becomes clean and healthy. And their French drains, vapor barriers, and encapsulation techniques turn crawl spaces into a Disney set. Yeah, okay, that probably went a bit far. But with over 35 years' experience, they have a lot of homeowners enjoying their basements again. Think Michaelis. And think how nice it would be to get rid of foundation cracks, basement leaks, damp smells, and all the nightmares that come with them. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
With traffic in the fives at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison, Carmel, southbound 31 to westbound 465. It's the entrance ramp that's closed because of a fatal crash, and the exit lanes to 465 are backed up past 106 right now. That's because you can go to eastbound 465 from southbound 31, just not westbound. As a result, a little bit of traffic now on Keystone Parkway as people try to hop on. We're a little bit slow as you work your way from 96 to the ramps. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road to downtown. Southbound 65 loaded, MLK to Meridian Bend. Eastbound 70 slow from Tibbs to Meridian, Illinois. And southwest side southbound 465 stop and go from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, home of the Money Today Guarantee. Tax refund advance loans at Jackson Hewitt starting December 11th. Early refund advance offer to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com. I'm Matt Baer on Twitter, at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A few showers will be possible early tonight with mostly cloudy skies. Lows will fall into the low to mid 30s. Then for Wednesday, we'll see a little bit more sunshine, but still on the colder side. Highs only in the low 40s with light winds. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So early this morning, Hammer, some suspicious activity going on. I heard about this at the top of the news, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is bad. Fall Creek Parkway, North Drive. There was a couple of neighbors heard some stuff going outside, heard a ruckus.
Can you describe the ruckus?
Well, it was some sort of ruckus. So they got out about 2 o'clock in the morning, couldn't find anything, wandered back around the house, and encountered 3 armed individuals. And that's when the shooting started.
So the neighbors were actually kind of looking after each other and the community. Yes. You know, one neighbor called another. They got out together, walked around, got into a car and drove around the neighborhood, didn't see anything. And then when they came back, there were a group of dudes who were up to no good, trying to make trouble in their neighborhood, to quote Will Smith in The Fresh Prince.
Yes.
And that's when gunfire happened. These scumbags that were clearly trying to rob something or create problems fired off a shot. They hit one of the neighbors, hit him in the head wound.
Minor head wound.
Minor
okay.
head wound. Going to be okay.
It's just too bad that the victims here weren't able to connect with the would-be armed robbers. They got into their SUV and left. There are bullet holes, from what I'm told, in their car or SUV or whatever they were driving.
And police are saying if anybody knows anything at all, if you've seen the 3 people that were creating the problems in the neighborhood, call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS.
I think when I see these stories, and I'm disappointed that no bad guys died, because the more of these stories that happen, the more criminals will see that, things are starting to change a little bit.
Right.
Record numbers of gun owners, not only in this city, but across the country, people have been purchasing guns. And they are not afraid to defend themselves. These guys are heroes. That we're not only looking after their own houses, but the neighborhood as well. And I'm glad the guy's okay. A minor injury to the head, but there was children present as well. Lucky nobody died. And especially,
unfortunately,
the
bad guys didn't die. Because I like it when bad guys die.
I do too.
I enjoy it because honestly, in Marion County, that's the only way you know they're not going to be right back out on the streets the next day if they get killed. And I hate saying that out loud, but let's be honest. We all agree it's the truth. There are only two ways to make crime better in Indianapolis. You have competent leadership that locks up repeat offenders for a longer period of time, tougher sentencing for violent offenders, because a lot of these people get back out on the street and commit more crime. Tougher sentencing on them, or law-abiding citizens do law-abiding citizen things and eliminate the threat. Those are the two ways that Indy could be safe. I've got very little faith in option A, but option B might have to be something that more people consider. So if you know somebody that's getting a weapon for their home, maybe it's going to be a gift for the holidays, I don't know, do yourself a favor and get properly trained.
Well, it all started, I think, around the Summer of Love 2020. They saw businesses and neighborhoods and cities being burned and rioted and looted, and nothing was being done by the Democrats that ran those cities to protect the citizens.
And the mayor's office told the police downtown, basically stand by.
Let them march.
Give them some room.
Yeah.
You got to have plenty of room for that window to go through the jewelry store on the corner. I mean, that sucks. I'm sorry. That flat out sucks. So I get it. I totally understand why more people want to buy firearms for their house, and I hate the fact that these three guys didn't die. Dead bad guys makes me laugh, and I wish they would have died. Big Nige, it's scam and hack season.
Is it really?
It is, because it's the holidays. And listen, criminals, they got to buy gifts too. So they got to find a way to get some sort of income coming in. And do you know what 23andMe is? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, it's the like your DNA origins. I do. I'm on. Am I on 23andMe? Because they got hacked, didn't they?
They sure as hell did.
Let me see. Am I on them? No, I'm on Ancestry.com.
Okay. It's another one of those sites where you send a DNA swab and they can trace your family history.
What I did was I got it for Christmas one year. I spit into a vial, like this little tiny vial, and sent it out, and then they sent me back. I set up an account with Ancestry, and now I know where I'm looking at it right now, as a matter of fact. So most of my heritage, most of my family comes from England and Northwestern Europe.
Well, congratulations on knowing that, but if you're a 23andMe customer, your information's also been compromised. Because these hackers, man, it's not just kids in their basement anymore. I mean, you saw what happened on the Las Vegas Strip. Las Vegas got crippled by a sophisticated group of hackers and scammers. They're kind of like the bastard stepchild of the hackers. Because this time of year, there's a lot of people trying to run fake charity scams.
Dude, do you ever get those emails from, it'll say it's from, I'll get emails that say it's from PayPal. And then I'll open it up and it says, hey, thank you for your purchase of $1,500 or whatever. I know damn well that I think
we work in radio. We don't have that kind of money. Joke's on you. Getting it a couple years ago, and immediately there was a hack. So if that wasn't enough, and then all their woke bullcrap, we got rid of Disney Plus a while back. But this happened around this time. It was around the holidays, and you're going to see a big uptick in this kind of stuff.
Well, the difference between hacks and scams, I mean, corporations, like you said, MGM got hacked. And I think they paid those effers off. right?
Yeah.
They paid those guys off to get back online. I'm very personally familiar with the situation that's going on right now with a giant corporation that's going through something like this.
And the scam and the hack, though, can work hand in hand because you fall for something dumb. Like if you don't know any better, if you're an older person and you see a message that says, hey, your whatever has been compromised, click this email.
Yeah.
They click it because they don't know any better.
Don't click it.
And next thing you know, your bank account, your credit cards are drained down.
But I mean, these hackers that do this to, like, again, the MGM Grand, they have, like, help centers. They have customer service centers. The hackers.
They do.
Like if you are trying to pay off a hacker and your money's not going through or you don't have the right password or the right code, you can call a number and there's very professional people on the other line that can guide you through robbing you, essentially.
Which brings us to great moments in scammer history. This was a news anchor who was expecting, I think, a call from somebody trying to run a scam. So she did it on the air, and it was fantastic.
Hello, can I speak to Jeanette Reyes?
This is she?
Hello, Jeanette. I'm calling in regards to an outstanding warrant we have for your arrest.
I didn't know about that. Can I just pay for it now?
Yes, we can clear up this matter if you're able to make a payment right now with a debit or credit card. Go ahead with the number, please.
It's 321. Good evening. We are live on television right now with an investigation into scam callers. We have the FBI on the line. They are tracking this phone number as we speak. Sir, what is your full name again?
Oh, we hung
and
right
of course,
up.
they hung up. I thought that was pretty brilliant. But the way that you have handled these people in the past, Nige, I think it's even better. We were doing some production in a production studio when you got a scam request that came in. So we thought it'd be good that you called them back to see what they were up to.
Hello. Thank you for calling. Please stay on the line while I connect you to one of our representatives. Please note that your call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
Hello.
Hi, this is Hannah. How may I help you?
Yeah, I was calling to pay off my debt. Got a call about debt collecting.
All right, who am I speaking with?
This is Bueller. First name Ferris.
Interesting.
F-E-R is two R's.
Yeah, what can I actually help you with?
Well, no, I'm calling to pay off my debt. Would you like my Social Security number first or my credit card number first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and give me your social.
Okay. 812-35-6537.
And you're not in our system, sir, so I hope you have a good day.
Scammer. You know what's scary about that is, like, you think these scamming, you think it's like some call center in the Middle East where, I mean, you could hear stuff going on in the background and stuff like that. These were obviously Americans. I mean, you heard that voicemail greeting at the beginning. It sounded like some hillbilly. Howdy, hey, hold on. We'll get you in touch and you can pay off your debt.
It sounded like John Candy protecting Wally World. Hello, the moose out front should have told you. Now, there was another time we were back there doing some commercial work because that's what we do before the show. And there was another scam call that came in. We got the phone number and you called them back.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
F you.
Huh? That was it?
That's all we get? Call back.
You.
Hey, man. Now, that sounded like an overseas Middle East call center.
Yes.
Right there. That you could hear other people in the background.
I swear I thought I heard Matt Bear in the background, though.
It's my side job. Looking at southbound 31 right now, the off-ramp to westbound 465 is closed right now because of a fatal crash from earlier this afternoon. Again, that's southbound 31-2 westbound. Eastbound is available, but there is a backup right now in those exit lanes past 106th Street. Northbound 465 is stop and go from 86 to 865, and inbound 65 jams at MLK to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dogfight injury? Call Isaacs and Isaacs, the law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Donate to my digital kettle for the Salvation Army Radiothon at WIBC.com.
Seriously, don't tell me Big Brother isn't listening. While Matt Baer was doing traffic, I got a scam call. And it says on my phone, scam likely, and it's
spam risk. Yeah.
It's a number. I have no idea who it is. It's not from Indiana.
I never answer any call anymore whatsoever. Unless it's my wife, I never answer a call I don't recognize.
You're not really good at responding to texts either, but it's neither here nor there. Allison's laughing. She knows. 43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
I had Window Nation windows. My neighbors saw how awesome they were. They had windows installed in their house. My mom just got new Window Nation windows installed in her place. She loves them. That's all they do is windows, by the way. They've installed over 200,000 windows last year. That's 40 times more than the average window company, and they're all made right here in the Midwest. Window Nation got an incredible deal going on right now.
None. Nada. 0% interest for 5 years. And that's on top of the existing deal where you get 50% off all style of windows. Save thousands on your new windows, and your energy bills will all be lower as a result of these energy efficient windows at Window Nation. I know this because I'm a customer of Window Nation. 866-90-NATION. Call them today. At least talk to a representative. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown, and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy, and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com. The gold standard for hair restoration.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but hate to paint? Do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
It was done in 2001. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Pierce Jewelers is Carmel's full-service jewelry store where all watch repair, jewelry repair, appraisals, or custom design is done in-house. See them at piercejewelers.com.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer, a poll asked thousands of people what they'd do if they found $1,000 cash on the ground. On average, 47% of people said they'd keep it. Now, Jacksonville was the most honest city. Detroit was the least honest. Indy came in 32nd. With that same number, 47% of people in Indiana said they would keep the $1,000 if they found it on the ground. Are you okay with this?
Yes, I am okay with this because let's be honest. If you're in Detroit or Indianapolis and you find $1,000 on the ground, that's drug money. There's no doubt in my mind that's drug money. And I have no problem spending money that was normally going to go to some fentanyl dealer on a 5-leg parlay that I'm going to play this weekend. It's free money. No, I have no problem with it all.
Here's my thing with questions like this. Like if you found somebody's wallet, if you found, $1,500 in a used couch that you bought at a garage sale, I would be inclined to give it back, but how hard do I have to work to find who it belongs to?
I think if you find a wallet, that's different. Like if you find a wallet, there's probably a driver's license, all that's in there. I totally would give that back.
I would too.
But if it's just $1,000 in a cash envelope that I found on the ground.
Like if you're walking along on the Monon and you find a random wad of 20s, what are you supposed to do? Turn it into the cops?
Get to your car quickly because somebody's coming to get that money because that's their drug payment.
Like I remember driving into work really early one morning, like about 5:30 in the morning. I saw this really nice drill set, this box with a nice construction just drill, like we're sitting in the middle of the road. It obviously fell off some construction truck.
Right.
It belonged to somebody. And so later that day, after I got off work, I took it to the Zionsville Police Department and turned it in. Not that I'm deserving of any praise or anything, but that's probably about the extent that I'd go to. And I'm not turning cash. I mean, if it's $100,000 cash, yeah, I probably better go to the cops with that one.
And say I found $1,000, then you can still sleep well at night. Have you ever found money before? Have you ever picked up money?
Nothing like
that. I found somebody had dropped some money in the parking lot of Kroger, and it was like $100, all in 20s. And I thought, all right, this is in a parking lot of a grocery store. This is somebody's grocery money.
Yeah.
And so I took that in and I took it to the customer service area and I did my thing there. I think certain places are different. If you find somebody's wallet, turn that in. If it's at the grocery store, turn it in. If it's downtown on Monument Circle underneath a pile of needles and it's a stack of Benjamins, that's mine. And don't ask me why I found it there.
Gotcha. Okay, come on. What do we have next? Oh, let's talk about George Santos. This idiot's now on Cameo. Where was he for Cameo prices, right? John Fetterman pays $343 for George Santos to unknowingly troll indicted Democratic Senator Bob Menendez in his first day on Cameo. He made it vague, and Santos did it. Are you okay with? Wait, what exactly is happening here? What?
So Fetterman, to his credit, actually has been somewhat normal lately. He finds it ridiculous that the United States isn't all in on supporting Israel. And he also thinks his fellow Democrat senator, Bob Menendez, needs to be expelled from the Congress.
Lots of shadiness with Menendez, for sure.
So, look, hat tip to Fetterman. He thinks a Democrat, and he's a Democrat, needs to be expelled along with Santos. So in order to troll the guy that he thinks should be kicked out, he hired George Santos to read something very vague on Cameo. This is what Fetterman posted on Twitter. Quote, I thought my ethically challenged colleague, Bob Menendez from New Jersey, could use some encouragement given his substantial legal problems. So I approached a seasoned expert on the matter and gave Bobby from Jersey some advice. this was the message that he gave Santos to record, but Santos didn't know that it was for Menendez.
Hey, Bobby, look, I don't think I need to tell you, but these people that want to make you get in trouble and want to kick you out and make you run away, you make them put up or shut up. You stand your ground, sir, and don't get bogged down by all the haters out there. Stay strong. Merry Christmas.
That's a strong troll by Fetterman right there.
Are you okay with this?
God, I can't believe it, but yes.
How much was a cameo from George Santos?
$343.
$340. Jeez, I would have taken the under on that.
You could have got 2.5 honky tonk mans for that price. Like Jim Mora is only $50. You could have a series of Jim Mora messages where he's yelling at you, saying diddly poo and playoffs and all that kind of stuff. One message from Santos was $343.
How much did we pay for Tanya Harding?
I think it was around
$200
for our old producer Kyle, his farewell gift at a night with WIBC.
That's right.
We had Tanya Harding give him a message. All right, coming up next, we've got some action in the Indiana gubernatorial race. We'll talk about that coming up right after the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He only took a few $100. 42 degrees and cloudy downtown. Scattered showers on radar. Low temps drop to the 30s later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. The robbery was not the big score he wanted. Now Joseph Johnson will spend the next 12 years in prison. Donnie Burgess reports.
Johnson lied to the supermarket employees about what he really wanted back on May 17th. He said he needed medicine, but what he really wanted was everything in the register. He walked out with $500, but police quickly tracked him down using a license plate reader. He was arrested the next day. Police also found the BB gun believed to have been used in the robbery. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Someone on a bicycle was hit and killed this morning in the southwest side of Indianapolis. Police say it happened around 6:30 on South Harding Street near Raymond Street. IMPD says the driver of the car that hit the person on the bike stayed at the scene to cooperate with the investigation. Now police are trying to figure out what led to the wreck. 3 university presidents testified before Congress about anti-Semitism on their campuses.
The presidents of Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, and MIT told the House Education and Workforce Committee that Israel has the right to exist and they condemn anti-Semitism on their campuses, but that they also have to defend free speech rights on campus. Indiana Republican Congressman Jim Banks asked Penn's president, Liz McGill, why professors who said Israelis either lied about Hamas atrocities or professors who celebrated them still have jobs at Penn.
I'm very troubled by what you're describing, Congressman, that kind of...
You're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. You're defending it.
The head of the committee said they would follow up with each president on new plans she said they should have about addressing what she called intellectual and moral rot on their campuses.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The nonprofit news group Free Press Indiana feels there's a need for better local journalism.
But in some of our rural communities, we have what are described as news deserts, where there is not a local news presence.
Ebony Chappelle with Free Press Indiana says they've started up a newsroom. They're calling it Mirror Indy. It started today. It's going to share content with WIBC. Right now, they're focusing on news related to Indianapolis. They plan on expanding beyond to other cities and towns in Indiana. A Colts Build-A-Bear? Sasha Nixon reports.
The team is currently selling 2 Build-A-Bear plush toys that look like Mascot Blue, with both offering interchangeable accessories. One features Blue with a white jersey and a green mohawk and tail. The newer addition to the website is a tie-dyed version of the character with rainbow fur, a blue jersey, and a pink mohawk and tail. If you order now, you can get 25% off of your entire online purchase. Learn more at shop.colts.com. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison. Ramp closed. Carmel, southbound 31-2, westbound 465. That's because of a fatal crash from earlier this afternoon. The exit lanes to 465 backed up past 106th Street. Eastbound 465 stop and go off Keystone to Allisonville Road. Downtown, southbound 65 stop and go traffic. MLK to Meridian Penn, and we are stopped on southbound 65-70 at Michigan Street. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Belmont to the north-south split, and the southwest side southbound 465 loaded from 70 past Man. This is a crash, Greenwood County Line Road east of State Road 135. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A few showers will be possible early tonight with mostly cloudy skies. Lows will fall into the low to mid-30s. Then for Wednesday, we'll see a little bit more sunshine, but still on the colder side. Highs only in the low 40s with light winds. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Wait a minute. What does Rob Kendall call the current lieutenant governor? What's her nickname?
Silent Suzanne.
That's right. Because she stayed silent during Holcomb and his draconian lockdown policies during COVID, putting millions of people out of work, didn't say a word. Now she's running for Indiana governor, and now she's got an idea that I don't mind, that I like, eliminating the state income tax, Hammer.
So according to some new info that she put on her website today, her official Susan Crouch for Governor website, she laid out all the things that she wants to do to eliminate the state income tax. Here's a couple bullet points here. 1, return to taxpayers all budget and reserve fund surplus beyond reasonably necessary levels in the form of permanent individual rate reductions. She goes on to talk about how there also needs to be individual income tax elimination, a modernization of tax code, limit the growth and cost of Indiana government, limit a number of other things to adjust the growth of the economy.
Okay, but the main part is the elimination of the state income tax, which, again, I'm down with. I lived in a state where there was no state income tax. It was glorious. In fact, the first paycheck I remember receiving, I went to my boss and I said, is this right? Is this what we agreed to? Because this was more than I thought.
The thing is, and again, Suzanne Crouch is a nice woman. She's been here on our program before. I don't think any of this stuff she can pull off. I don't know how many folks are willing to help her right now because they don't like her old boss. They don't like Governor Holcomb.
I could not vote for anybody associated with the Holcomb administration in any way, shape, or form after what he pulled during COVID.
And
no way.
If during that, she had kind of been the one that said, listen, I don't agree with what this crazy SOB is doing over here, but I don't have a say because I'm just a lieutenant governor, but I am not with him. Let the record clearly state. She didn't do that, and I think that's why Rob has dubbed her Silent Suzanne.
Sometimes he just calls her silent. Like, like when Trump dropped the Crooked Hillary, he just started calling her Crooked.
And everybody knew who you were talking about. Crooked, silent.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Micah Beckwith is running for the nomination of lieutenant governor through the delegates. It's because we want somebody there. We want somebody there to push back on the governor if he gets squirrely.
Right.
Right.
And the reason these things will never happen that Suzanne Crouch is wanting, because one, she's alienated the people that feel like she was too silent. And number two, the establishment butt sniffers, well, they don't like that at all. They want to keep all that surplus money and not pass it down. So between the folks that are angry and then the establishment butt sniffers, I don't know if there's enough support from anybody for her to move forward with this. The ideas themselves, all right, great. We all agree we should get our money back. We all agree we're overtaxed. But I just don't know if this is the person that can pull that off. Let's play a round of Is It Racist?
It's time to play Is It Racist?
It's been a little while since we've played this game, so for those who may be new to the Hammer and Nigel show, here to explain the rules is socialist sweetheart AOC.
Is it racist? Is something racist, yes or no?
Nigel, you know who Ibram Kendi is, right?
Oh, yeah. Race baiter, author, anti-racist, which is actually the severe form of racism guy.
Right.
Won't debate anybody on his views because he's a bigot, basically.
And he's a fraud. He's teaching some college class, pushing his bigoted views upon them. And then when asked where all the funding for his classroom went, and there was a little investigation, he didn't have any receipts, didn't have any answers.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So this guy, it's like a younger version of Al Sharpton. He's making a career out of being a race hustler. So that's who he is. But let's keep an open mind here. Let's see if this statement that he made at the premiere of his new Netflix film is racist, okay? Keep an open mind. Here is Ibram Kendi.
That construction of whiteness prevents white people from connecting to humanity. Really be able to connect to people who don't look like you, who have kinky hair, who have dark skin, and to see yourself in them. And it's whiteness that prevents that, right? And when you're not able to see yourself in other human beings, that creates all sorts of problems. But not just societal problems, personal problems. That I think hopefully this film and this work will liberate those folks from. So I think it's liberating all the way around, right? I think it will liberate, really all of us because, we've all been told a lie about ourselves and other people.
Oh, yeah.
And a standing ovation.
Profound.
So, Nige, I defer to you. Is the statement, whiteness prevents white people from connecting to humanity, racist?
I'll take bigotry for $1,000, Alex.
We can't connect to humanity.
I can't.
Because we're white.
Whitey can't connect, so I don't know what to do. I throw my hands up and just, I'm going to have to move on with my life.
And how about the people that stood up like seals and applauded that?
What? Don't even say the movie. I can't even believe Netflix. Like, Netflix had this failed movie called The Problem with White People.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just immediately taken down. It was awful. I think it only lasted a season or two. And you lost me at The Problem with White People. That's not a bigoted, racist title to begin with.
Now, I don't know what the name of this new Netflix film is, but if I had to guess, Kill Whitey. That's just my guess. Wasn't that what Chris Farley shouted on stage in the movie Black Sheep, where he was up there like trying to rally up support for his brother who was running for office? Fight the power! And he's yelling all these catchphrases. Kill Whitey! The music stops and everybody looks at him and they're telling him
scratch.
They're telling him no. Would you like to hear a story about a man who used a sausage as a weapon, Nige?
Sure, yeah.
Dateline, Florida. A judge has ordered a Florida man to have no contact with his wife after his arrest for striking her in the face with a sausage.
Oh.
An actual sausage. Get your minds out of the gutter. During a verbal altercation this past weekend, 61-year-old dude named Ray Allen, not the NBA player, allegedly threw a sausage, pork, at his spouse. The said sausage struck his 64-year-old victim on the right side of her face. This is all in the arrest affidavit. EMS workers responded to the couple's home in St. Pete and had to wash out the victim's eye with saline solution. Which brings us to great moments in sausage history, Nige.
Is there even such a thing?
Jim Irsay.
I don't know how to make sausage. I don't know what goes into sausage. But I do know how to build a football team.
Damn right, Jim Irsay. And if we're doing great moments in sausage history, I think this is the, George Washington of the Mount Rushmore here. The guy that called the Jimmy Dean hotline to complain about the size of the sausage.
Your product's very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage, but you don't have it anymore. You've got a 12-ounce roll, and you got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and feed that, it ain't going to work. And as far as your 16-ounce in maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man, and I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. Son of a somebody needs their ass kicked.
Great moments in sausage history. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my Good Feet arch supports, man. I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than 1 championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Well, if you're not an American Standard customer, you should be. If you don't have American Standard equipment installed in your house, you should really think about it because you got a lot to focus on coming up here in the next couple of months. The last thing you want to be worried about is your furnace going out. So if you're in need of American Standard service, Hammer's going to tell you who you should check out.
How about Family Heating and Air Conditioning, the Morris family and their staff ready to help you out this fall? You could call Rachel, you could call Marcus, or you could call Malia today to make sure that furnace is safe and ready to roll for when the cold, nasty weather comes in. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. If you've already got a quote from another company and something doesn't look right, call Family Heating and Air because nobody takes care of you like family. 317-577-8077. 577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
So what's a good rate on a CD today? Something like 5%? Yeah, and that's the highest it's been in a long time. Well, you know your retirement guy, Bill Demery, could help you do way better, right? Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Instead of getting 5%, what if you could get a much better return? Like a return that's averaged 7% per year for the past 10 years. That's 40% better. Let me say that again, 40% better.
Plus, now check this out. You also get an immediate 13% bonus on your investment. And it's all backed by one of the largest insurers in the world. A 13% bonus and a 7% average return. You should call Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120. 13% bonus. This won't last long. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 648-5120. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Discover how to save more of your hard-earned money. Listen to WIBC this Saturday from 5 to 6 a.m. for secure retirement tips from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. This Saturday, 5 to 6 a.m. on WIBC.
Dogfight injury? Call Isaacs & Isaacs. The law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, Tony Kennett, his new show, the Tony Kennett Cast. That's coming up at 7. And then IU basketball pregame at 8. Big Ten action at Michigan. That's coming up tonight, so keep it locked all through the evening here at 93 WIBC. Matt Bear, what's going on with the roads?
All right, Hammer, the ramp from southbound 31 to westbound 465 in Carmel is closed because of a fatal crash that happened earlier this afternoon. Right now, those exit lanes to 465 on southbound 31. Stop and go traffic from 106 down to 465. Again, the ramp that's closed southbound 31 to westbound 465. This is a crash. English Avenue at South Emerson and one in Greenwood County Line Road east of State Road 135. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
42 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
So, Nige, you know this song, right? Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Right.
Brenda Lee, she's 78 years old. And this song just made it to number 1 for the very first time. This past Monday on the Billboard charts, the number 1 song was Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree in terms of new downloads and everything else. People are getting into the Christmas spirit. And even though this song was first released back in 1958, and it's come close to being number 1 before, it had never reached the top spot until this past Monday, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Okay, very cool accomplishment. I definitely will, if, we're in the kitchen and it's Christmas time and we're cooking or we got the family going, I will definitely say, Alexa, play classic Christmas music.
That song,
that's a staple.
It's a staple, right?
I don't like the new stuff so much, but I like the classic stuff, like the 50s and 60s.
That reminds me of the scene in Home Alone where Kevin's making it look like he's got a bunch of people at the house and, Michael Jordan's on the rotating train or whatever it is. And so in honor of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree being number 1 on the Billboard charts for downloads, here are some cover songs of it. We like cover songs on this show.
All right.
Tell me if any of these do anything for you. Here's Toby Keith's version.
You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear their voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around Christmas tree.
I'm kind of meh.
Meh. Allison, what do you think? Toby Keith, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
I think meh does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this one? This is Stray Cats frontman Brian Setzer and his Brian Setzer Orchestra doing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. We'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling.
Yeah, I think this is more in the spirit of Brenda Lee.
Guilty pleasure. I love the Brian Setzer Orchestra. I like Stray Cats.
You celebrate the entire catalog.
I celebrate the entire catalog. And Nige, because I know you love the voice of Miley Cyrus.
Smoking.
Here is Miley Cyrus doing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party.
It's young Miley here.
This was her Hannah Montana days, I believe.
I think it was.
Was it
Yeah.
really? No, a little too fast. I know it's called Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. It's too rocking for me.
It's rocking too hard. Do not go anywhere. Top stories coming up next. We got some heat at the Senate hearings. Fun audio. Stick around.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed